Bam! How's it going, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good time. Now, I've got a very special guest in the green room, and we're gonna go ahead and bring him in. Seeing as how he's on limited time, I want to make sure we get him the opportunity to speak his mind. I hope he's there. He was there a second ago. Educator, are you with us? He's muted himself. Maybe he's getting himself a snack. We'll wait. While we're waiting for the Educator, hello everybody. How are we all doing? Hope everybody's doing very well. See, he said nope. He's been having some issues with his connection, so hopefully we can get him back here in a second and get him in. There we are. Maybe. Are we good now, or are we still having some issues?
I can hear you if you can hear me.
I got you loud and clear.
Excellent. Sometimes I struggle with this. I don't know why, but on my mobile it doesn't like that StreamYard link. I don't know why, but
yeah,
whatever.
I've heard that the mobile stuff can be kind of a pain. So, I hate to be the one to say it, but I told you so.
If you only knew how many times I've heard that over the past 24 hours.
Oh, I'm sure everybody. I almost didn't do it, but I had to because it's just too easy. Let me ask you this, just right at the top. Do you believe Chili's story?
About the injury, I guess.
About anything. But
well,
yeah, specifically about his weight.
That's a very broad question. I'm not sure that I've ever really believed anything that he said, so it's kind of hard to say. But I mean, I will say this, from somebody that's been kind of lived an athletic life, I don't have any doubts that he's probably maybe had some issues with his knee. I don't know. I don't know if he has or not. I have no reason to really doubt that he would. Now, as far as the blood pressure thing goes, that would be something. And I said this last night, with Kate on her stream, is, if you're somebody that's lives a athletic lifestyle, I mean, the guy's in good shape. I mean, you can tell he's put together, he's built, whatever. You would think that blood pressure running that high would not be something normal. And if it is, you would think you would know it, because obviously you're living a physical lifestyle. So I'm up in the air on that.
I mean, I've seen people in his shape have that type of blood pressure due to cocaine.
Right.
But I'm not saying that he's on cocaine by any means. Just seems kind of funny. Kind of funny that man, when he sat down and did his whole I'm signing the paper, or signing the contract, which is just bullshit. Come on.
Yeah.
Nate from MD says good shape equals steroids. For him, probably.
He's a little different, it's really a shame though, because when I went into this little venture, I hadn't been in shape for a long time, and I'm sure most people have probably heard my story by now, but I actually destroyed my right arm powerlifting a few years back, and it kind of really, honestly, I mean, I really battled some depression over that, because I was always in the gym, I was always the bigger, stronger guy, whatever, and when that happened, I went from being that guy to not being able to do anything on my own almost. And I lost all my muscle mass. I gained lots of bad weight, a lot of fat, and, lost a lot of muscle. Well, then just as I kind of start getting my arm back, I come down with COVID, and I had COVID to the point where it actually hospitalized me for like 6 days. I was on high flow oxygen. It was a really, really bad time. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. And when he came to town, I was probably the farthest I've ever been out of shape in my life, and he really offended me, not only the stuff that he'd done, and I didn't even know about this guy until he shows up. He's nothing to me. I didn't know him, but right. The way that he talked to some of our younger officers really, really ticked me off. Some young guys I know for a fact are good kids. I mean, I call them kids, young men. And he just attacked them, and talked awful to him. But then once I actually got to research him a little bit, I kind of done my homework, and I seen where I don't know, I think he was maybe in Texas or somewhere where he tore down an officer memorial where I guess the officer had passed away. And I just, at that point, I'm thinking, this guy needs his ass whipped.
Yep.
Like, so I was thinking, and then I'd heard that he'd been challenging police officers. So I'd already kind of, like, for all intents and purposes, I'd kind of lay in wait. because I was hoping that I would get that opportunity where he would challenge me. So when he came up and knocked on my window, I knew it was inevitable that his ego was gonna drive him, because I am a big guy. I mean, just physically sized. And of course, he makes a statement. So I immediately was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's
absolutely. Look, the guy's, I think it's hilarious that there's a reason why Chili and people like Chili challenge police officers, because they know that the cop just can't beat their ass right then and there. It just can't happen, right? There's this thing called rules that you have to follow.
Well, and I think that too. I think a lot of times you see these guys that are going around, they're just being complete assholes, and they know that there's a code of conduct. And I don't think Chili really anticipated that. He came to hillbilly hell down here. We've got a code of conduct, but when it comes to somebody needing a good country ass whooping, I'm by all means willing to give it out. So and he just kind of had that attitude, like he didn't think anybody's going to be able to take him up on something. And I was like, well, I already kind of behind the scenes approached my chief about it and said, hey, if he challenges me, what do you think about me accepting it? And once I started bringing up charity, and I'd already kind of laid the entire trap, so I was like, let's do it. And I already had everything worked out. So now what I didn't have worked out was the details on the charity. And what I didn't have worked out was the details on a venue or a promoter or anything. I knew I was going in the dark, but I was also, I've been around the fight game my whole life. I mean, I grew up around it, in boxing and then combat grappling, jiu-jitsu and stuff. So, I knew I could make some phone calls and probably find a place to be able to get this done. And I don't think he anticipated, first of all, somebody taking him up on it. But second, somebody actually taking that level of ambition to say, not only will I take you up on it, but I'll make all the arrangements. Let's do it.
Right.
So, and I think he was kind of backed in a corner there for a little bit. And I think ultimately, and I'll just say this is my opinion, but I think ultimately I kind of pushed him up against the wall where he's either going to show up or he's going to be humiliated. So I think that he really didn't have a choice but to accept. So that's the reason that I kind of done it the way that I done it,
Yeah.
I'll say this. I don't know if he's hurt, but I actually released this last night on Masshole. And and honestly, at this point, it doesn't really matter, but I actually have a pretty bad injury to my left knee. And if anybody's followed my channel, like I've made mention of it vaguely a few times, but I never wanted to kind of give away how severe it was. But I'm actually, I was going to have to go into this fight, and I'd actually petitioned the Kentucky Athletic Commission to let me wear a compression sleeve and KT tape on my left knee, because I knew there's no way that I could handle this fight just with my bare knee. The doctor is anticipating. Now, once again, my insurance is so wonderful. God bless them. I have not got the MRI approved, and they want 6 weeks of physical therapy prior, which would have ran me into the fight. So I'm thinking, hell with that. I mean, I can, whatever. So, but my doc says that, this is just my regular MD, not an orthopedist or anything, but he told me that he thinks it's either meniscus or a possible MCL based on where it's hurting.
Ouch.
So what he explained to me was, if it was just meniscus, that I could tape it up, compress it, and I can get through 9 minutes of fighting.
Right.
But I'm going to probably need surgery after. But if it's an MCL, he said that if I was to fight with that, it could potentially really, really damage me bad. So I was kind of up in the air, but I'm also kind of that guy that, when I give my word to do something, I'm going to do the best that I can to do it, and I'd already made a vow that I was going to fight. I already made a vow that I was going to show up and I was going to make money for St. Jude's. So even if I would have had to get in there and take an ass whipping for 9 minutes, I was going to do the best that I could that way. So, it really kind of,
honestly, we could like take your left leg off and you'd still be able to beat the shit out of this guy. I mean, he's a lot of talk. He's a lot of talk. I mean, you and I both seen these guys our entire lives that fucking run their mouths about everything. And you can see it too. Like, look at the way he dealt with Kate in Boston. Look at the way he dealt with JL in Oklahoma. The way he's been dealing with you the whole time. He didn't get up in Kate's face until he saw that there was police officers there. And then when he saw there were cops there, he petitioned the cops to come over to help separate the situation that he himself was escalating. Same thing happened in Oklahoma with J.L. Warren, right? So he went and knocked on the door to the building and got the cops out there, and then he became more aggressive towards J.L.
Oh, certainly. You know, when he was actually around me, you know, because he didn't really anticipate the fact that I'm actually quite a constitutionalist myself. I'm not a scholar by any means, but I'm in love with the liberty of it. So, you know, I'm a huge freedom guy, and I don't think he really anticipated that with me. So when he kind of approaches me, he wanted to hear something that would have got him clicks and views, but instead what he heard was somebody saying, "I'll absolutely protect your First Amendment right." And he didn't know what to say to that. And once he realized that, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Once he realized that not only was I going to speak up, but I was going to, by all means, do what I had to do to make sure that he was protected in his rights. And let me tell you, I think he about flipped out when he realized that he had somebody there that was not going to give him clicks and views. So he was like, oh, you could tell he wanted to get out of that situation because he don't want his audience to see a police officer say that stuff.
No, he doesn't.
So,
and that's the thing about all these frauditors. It's not about the First Amendment. It's about clicks and views. Period.
Absolutely.
They don't want to see you guys, you know, they don't want to actually showcase. Now, look, you know, I think that you would be considered dishonest at best if you didn't acknowledge that there are some terrible police officers out there that do some terrible things. But just because that is true, it does not mean that every single police officer is a piece of shit or out there to violate your rights.
Absolutely. You know, and I'll say this all the time too, is, you know, when I've had people actually approach me and say, "What do you think about that?" And I'll say, "I don't agree with that." "Oh, so you're saying you'll speak out against them?" Let me clarify that. I don't like bad cops, period. I don't like bad police officers. If you're a bad police officer, in my opinion, get the hell out of my profession because you're embarrassing me.
Well, not only are they embarrassing you, they're putting you at risk. The fact that there are bad cops puts you at risk.
Absolutely. But, you know, it's more than that, because, see, what I try to explain to people is this, you know, because I am such a freedom lover, I'm all about liberty, you know, and I have children, that I want to leave something. I want to leave them this beautiful little idea of freedom and liberty that we have here. And I want to make sure that if I'm not only leaving it to my children, but I'm teaching these young policemen and saying, you know, we are not out here to just arrest people. We are out here to protect freedoms. That's what we do. Now, we use law in order to guarantee freedom for everybody. And when I teach them that stuff, and I teach my kids that, I would be a hypocrite if I would go home and literally have a different attitude about it, because I want to live it myself. When I retire, when my kids are the adults, I want them to be able to enjoy it. So it's not just about me, you know, my job. It's about who I am as a person. Yeah, it's a shame that there's guys out there that put a black eye on us, but it does happen. But it's not all of us, I can promise.
For certain, you know, and like I said, I don't want to make this about, you know, good cops versus bad cops, but absolutely, you know, the shittiest part about that whole situation is that when you do have officers who are out there doing what they're supposed to be doing, who are out there, you know, actually protecting and serving and helping people, genuinely helping people who need help, these bad officers, not only do they fuel the frauditors like chili, but again, they put targets on your back. Now all of a sudden you're guilty by association, which is equally as stupid.
Absolutely.
So OG Goblin wants to know what happens to the money that was pledged to donate, or was that not a thing?
The money that was pledged to donate was from the promoter to us in lieu of pay. For instance, like, I mean, obviously we were amateur fighters. So what they done was they said, now this was the original agreement, was we show up to fight and they will donate money on our behalf to show up to fight. So I'm assuming as of right now, there won't be anything because we're not keeping our end of the deal, quite frankly. Now here's what I have planned, and I've talked to some other people. There is a title belt. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but there's a title belt that was actually created by this promotion company for this fight. And it's really cool. It's red, white, and blue, and it says First Amendment champ or whatever. Now, what my intention was is I'll obviously be presented with that on the 24th that, since he doesn't show up, it'll be given to me by default, so to speak. And then what I wanted to do, or what I envisioned to do, was I would like for all the YouTube channels in our community that are able, or at least able to show up or whatever, to be able to sign this belt, and for us to auction this off for a fundraiser for St. Jude's. That was my intention anyway.
That'd be kind of cool. That would be cool. I know there are going to be some out there. I know Irish Demon is going to make his way out there. JL Warren's making his way out there. I'm pretty sure Team Skeptic is going to make his way out there. I'm attempting to work out the logistics of it. It's different. My situation at home and work has changed. So, you've already
the idea is, and this had been kicked around too, is we had talked about maybe setting up kind of like a little, I'd say after party, but kind of like a meet and greet, so to speak, for everybody, for all of us to get together and just kind of hang out and meet some subs and kind of maybe have a few drinks and celebrate type thing. So even if the fight doesn't happen, there's still going to be an event, and we're still going to do our part to try to do something positive for St. Jude's. That's at least my goal.
Yeah.
So that's what we're hoping anyway.
Well, that's awesome. I'm sure with the people that are going to be out there, you're going to have plenty of opportunity to do something.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, there are already people that are bidding. You have Michael Bowman, who says, I bid 300 opening bid for the belt. So you've got people already ready to bid on that. Now, HM Smitty says $1,000 opening bid. So we've already got up to $1,000 for that belt. Just remember
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think we could, like I said, even if we got, and that's the thing is, there was the promoters like, you're not going to keep that belt. He's like, that belt was expensive. He said, that's a neat thing. And I was like, man, this is all about charity. I said, you got to realize it's like, and I've told this story before, but my dad, rest his soul, was a very hard man. He was a typical stone-faced, didn't show a whole lot of emotion. He was just kind of hard gristle type man. And that's the way I was raised up. I had a good dad, but I had a dad that was just, he was hard. He was typical man of that age. And because of that, he actually, the only time I really seen him show a whole lot of emotion was when the St. Jude's commercials would come on. And I know that sounds kind of funny, but like, that's the only time that I ever seen him actually like kind of get soft. And he would turn around at the TV, and it was on. And he would say, if I ever become wealthy enough to be able to make a difference, he said, I think I would donate to St. Jude's. He's like, he said, that really breaks my heart to see those babies like that. So that's been my goal, is to make this something positive for St. Jude's if we can, because, and I want to do it not only for the cause, but to honor my dad as well, just because, I think this is just one time that I've actually had an opportunity. I'm nobody, I'm just a regular guy and a policeman, but this platform has given me a little bit of an opportunity to be able to maybe generate something that's beyond my reach. So I want to take advantage of it to do something good if we can.
Well, absolutely. I mean, St. Jude's has always been one of the charities that, I mean, just because what they do at St. Jude's, dealing with children and making it easier for parents with children who have, some just terrible things going on, giving them the opportunity to be able to fight those, the cancers and the whatnot, without having to worry about how am I going to pay for this.
Right.
It's a great charity. And like I said, I'm 100% positive you guys will do something down there, especially with all the creators that are coming down.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just to get something going.
I wanted to kind of touch on this too, is, I want people I've had a lot of people to reach out, and obviously your platform is a lot bigger than mine. So I'll take this opportunity to kind of speak to them. But I've had a lot of people reach out to me in the past 24 hours, and I've been so humbled by that. It was such a weird feeling yesterday, because it was like, it was almost like an adrenaline dump, if that makes sense. Like I was so, as the fight started getting closer, I started kind of the anticipation building up and things. I knew he'd signed the contract, and I'd worked so hard, and I'd put so much effort in, and I've literally taken ass beatings in the gym, sparring with pro fighters and really legitimately just getting punched in the face and beat on and choked and everything else. And
right.
And I was really feeling like I was starting to kind of come together, like I was ready for a fight. My cardio is actually to the point where I can go hard for 3-3-minute rounds, and I was ready to go. And when I heard the news, it was like a like I hit with a train. I mean, just like what? Like this can't happen now, So I actually watched I watched a video of him actually saying it, and it hit me. And my first instinct, I'm not gonna lie, was to be like, well, mother, I mean, like I was just pissed off.
Yeah, sure. No, I can understand because I mean, going through that, you get that buildup, and then it's like it doesn't get to happen. It's like, well, I just kind of wasted the past 6 months.
Well, and then it kind of hit me, and I was kind of like, I took back, and I was thinking, I'm not, because everybody automatically, like on my Facebook and everything, was kind of like, chili bashing and stuff, and I'm going, I know that you guys may not understand this, but I don't want to hear that right now. Like, I mean, I know that sounds kind of weird, but like I was just in an emotional state where like I don't want to hear how bad chili is. I just want to hear right now that everything's still going to be positive. We're going to do something good, because the last thing I want to do is feel like that I have to attack chili on this. I just want to do something positive out of this, because I was just kind of like heartbroken over it. And there's a lot behind the scenes that a lot of people don't realize. My knee injury is one thing that I'll probably have to get surgery for, that sustained during some jiu-jitsu grappling stuff that we were doing. This is how I actually hurt it. But there's a lot of stuff that people don't know that I actually sacrificed, and I've really went through hell. I mean, the past few months getting ready for this fight. So when all this happened, I was just kind of like flattened, and I really struggle with that. But everybody reaching out to me and the amazing support that I've gotten is just blown away. And I'll just let everybody know here on your platform and stuff, I'm not going anywhere. I keep hearing people saying, please don't stop doing what you're doing. Please keep making your content, whatever. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not, I promise. I'm going to get back up. That's kind of one of my things is, making sure that people know to stay motivated and stay positive. And I can't be a hypocrite there either. Right. I want to make sure that I let everybody know I'm not going anywhere. I will be back. I'm going to start making content again. I just need a couple of days to clear my head. And we're going to do something good, and we're going to come out of this, and it's going to be fine. The main thing that I really want to focus on right now is just letting everybody know that you guys have no clue what these kind words that I have gotten from emails and Facebook messages and everything in between is just, I mean, every time I open a message, it's like, wow, like I can't believe, some of the stories these people are sharing with me, like, oh, you motivated me. And I'm going, really? Me? Like, I mean, I'm just like, are you like serious? Like, is this real? Like, or like you just saying this to make me feel better? Cause like, I'm kind of blown away, but it started hitting me and I was like, man, I'm really, it makes me feel like, even though I didn't get to fight, like maybe, just maybe it really was worth all this that I went through to be able to do this.
Well, you're in a position where there are a lot of us that would love to have been able to take up that torch against chili, right? But you're in a position where you can make that happen,
right?
And the simple fact is, a lot of us who cover these type of folks, like, I mean, again, I've never had a problem with someone filming in public. I've always had a problem with someone baiting or someone creating an issue. It's like, come on, you're only doing this shit. Like, these people only talk to these police officers the way they do because they know that these cops can't do anything to them.
Sure. Well, and I say this sometimes too, is I'll say, just because you have the rights and freedoms to do something doesn't mean that you should do something.
Right.
You can do a lot of things, but and you have the right to do it, but you also have the right to realize that you're a freaking asshole when you do it, period. So yeah, go ahead and go do it if you feel like you want to, but ultimately, just because you have the right doesn't clear you from being an asshole for doing it.
Exactly.
And it's silly that people act that way.
Yes, exactly. Really quick, Little Miss Nina has become a new Plot Hole crew member. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I got some words of support in the old side chat there. George Stewart says, Johnny, you have the best guest. It's pretty cool. I'll give him that.
Awesome.
Give him that. Steaming Cup of Reason says, Chili is a textbook coward, and he proves the point every time he is challenged. He is a despicable person that society can do without. Absolutely agree. I tend to ignore him. I only talk about Chili on big things like this when he backs out of, when he realizes that the check that he's written, his ass can't cash.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in all honesty, I kind of thought about this morning too, because I woke up this morning and I was like, what does all this mean? And I thought, honestly, he really had a lot to figure out, because if he showed up, I was gonna just absolutely destroy him. Like, he's not in
Oh
my
yeah.
league. And I know that, and I know he knows that. I mean, I know that he knows that he's not really a fighter, and I have been in and out of fighting my whole life, and I'm twice his size. So I'm thinking he has to realize I'm going to mangle him. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation. If he shows up, he's going to get destroyed, and his complete ego's gone, and his image is gone, and his face is going to be mangled for several weeks. So it's kind of like one of those things.
Yeah, one of the things that I don't know about you, but when I saw that video he did where he was, doing the whole, oh, I'm signing the contract. Look, there's me signing the contract. The first thing I thought was, oh, he already has his escape plan. He's already figured out how to get out of this.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah, it's very possible.
Aaron Reese says, like I said before, police departments are like most places, a few great cops, a few bad ones, but most are just trying to do the job properly and get home safe. Yeah, I mean, it is one of the few jobs in the world where you can do everything right and still end up dead. So there is that. HMB says that belt is mine. So look, I'm telling you, people are looking for that belt. Could we sell Chili the Coward t-shirts there? Absolutely. I think you should make up a bunch of Chili the Coward t-shirts and sell those off, and then put all that in the big pool to St. Jude's. You guys would do great.
Absolutely.
Aaron Reese says, do I need to make an advertising poster for the hypertensive crisis event? That's funny. Let's see here. Teresa Flaubert says, you are truly amazing, Chad.
Oh, thank you very much, dear. Thank you.
And then we've got another one says, I'm sure you and the others could pull a sort of pre-event charity live stream leading up to the acceptance of the belt. Even my crippled ass would be willing to pitch in. Yeah, I mean, that'd be kind of a cool thing to do. You make it just a little bit less, a mini event on the outside, and then, you know what I mean? Accept the belt. And everything that you guys make there, you kind of just put into the old bucket. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see here. Nima 19079 for 55 sex says, Flex Your Freedom is a nice guy. He wants to help. If it goes, if you want, he wanted to talk to you. He gladly takes Chili's place for St. Jude. So there's an ad. I don't know if you can change fighters in this kind of
I'll say this. I've had a lot of people say this. I've had a lot of people actually step up. And to be honest, there was so much emotion through this training camp and what I've kind of sacrificed. I'm 43 years old. I mean, I've been there and done it. Like I said, I fought from the time I was a kid, and this was my last one anyway. And I really was just kind of doing this more for the whole event, not just for the fight. I don't really care if I've been in another fight in my life. I just was doing it for the event. So I'm not interested in really fighting.
You were doing it because you wanted to beat the brakes off of Chili, and that's fine. We're okay with that. We wanted you to beat the brakes off of him too.
Well, I was going. What's funny is I'll go ahead and share the fight plan a little bit now that it's kind of passed. We were told because everybody kept saying on my channel, you can't take it. He's going to take you to deep water. He's in good shape. So we've actually been training at our fight gym we wanted to fight 3 rounds. Like I was actually, they told me we're not knocking him out the first round.
Yeah.
They wanted me literally to jab him and keep distance and just literally play him and wear him out, because they wanted me to hurt his face. They wanted his face to, possibly break his maybe jaw or his.
I guarantee you he's got a glass jaw. I guarantee you he has a glass jaw.
And I'd say he would, but as long as I wouldn't really hit him with like the heavy right or anything, I don't think he would have. I don't think I would have knocked him out with a stiff jab, but I think I sure could have swelled his eye shut.
Oh yeah.
Then what the intention was is I was going to fight him a little bit and then wear him out, and then just basically punish him the last of the second and third rounds and really just do damage. That was actually our plan. We weren't going to try to. Everybody kept saying knock him out fast, and I wanted so bad to say no, I'm not going to, but I can't tell you that yet.
Yeah. No, make him squirm. Thank you for that $55, 55 sex. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the sex that I can get. Bass here for $4.99 says, my fortune cookie actually said to err is human, to rub it in is divine. Grab another onion and cry. Thank you, Bass here. Yeah, I mean, I can speak for a lot of us that we are all very disappointed that it didn't happen, but we knew it was going to happen. We knew he was going to just chicken out. He's all talk. He's always been all talk.
Yeah, I never had a whole lot of confidence in him either, but I was just hoping that maybe just maybe he would surprise me. And I'm still not saying I don't know that he's not injured. You know, I hate to speak that way because I don't want to be in a situation where if the man really is having an issue and I talk down about him, like I don't want karma to chase me down. But you know, I hate this. I hate this happen. Period. That's what I'll leave it at that. I hate this happen because I really wanted to. I wanted to fix his face and I wanted to fix his ego.
I don't believe his knee story. He may have a hurt knee. He may have one, right? He may have a hurt knee. But finding it out in the way that he says he did, I call bullshit on that, because in nowhere in his paperwork does it show that his attending physician who performed the physical asked for an MRI or an X-ray on his leg.
Right.
So that doctor didn't diagnose him with a bum knee. So either he already knew about the bum knee and then told that doctor about it in order for that doctor to be like, nah, you know, if the knee, this is probably what happened. He probably went in, and again, this is all whatever. I'm not saying this is fact. Chili, you can try and sue me for all I'm worth, which is about 50 cents. But what I think happened is he went in there and said, Doc, my knee kind of hurts. Should I fight? The doc's like, look, if you don't think you should fight because of your knee, then you probably should. And he's like, oh, there's my out right there. Boom.
Right. And that is very possible. I don't, you know, who knows?
Right. Roseanne Massman says, if Nightmare Promotions gives me a refund of my 2 pre-sale tickets, I'll donate that to St. Jude's in your name.
Absolutely. Well, I'll definitely appreciate that. But also keep in mind, and I'm not trying to discourage anybody from, you know, getting the refunds, because I believe they probably will refund and make things right. But also, we're going to have an event. You know, we're still going to be there. I'm going to be there. We're going to have fun. And there's going to be some other good fights. So if you're a fight fan, come hang out. We're all going to hang out. We're going to have a good time. You know, there's going to be a lot of, you know, content creators that are going to be there, and we're going to have a good time with it. So don't just automatically sell out the event thinking that you don't want to come. So, because I think it'd still be worth your time if you wanted to show up anyway.
Yeah, I mean, this is not the only fight on the card. This is what, a 7-fight card or 8-fight card?
I think there's 8. Well, there's going to be 7 now, I think.
Well, yeah, 7 now. That's right. Connie Johnson, who's been a Plot Hole crew member for 11 months, says, you make my week, Johnny. Thanks for all you do. Absolutely. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Yeah, I know you're pressed for time. So if you don't want to hang out, whenever you're ready to get back to, you know, crying in your Wheaties because Chili backed out like a bitch, you let me know.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll end it by saying this. So first of all, I really appreciate you bringing me on. You know, I've really nice. The support that I've gotten in the YouTube community since all this started has just been very humbling all over. But I just want to remind everybody, you know, we're going to keep pushing forward. I'll probably be trying to make some content this weekend, just a quick little video on a few things here and there or whatever. And I'm going to keep my training. I did kind of take off lazy today. That's the first time I'd kind of taken off completely for a while. But I will be back to work, and I'll keep documenting stuff. And then September 24th, we're still going to do something awesome. We're going to do the belt thing. We're all going to show up. We're going to have a meet and greet of some sort. Everybody's going to have fun. And if you like good MMA fights, I will say Nightmare Promotions puts on a hell of a show, so it's worth showing up for it anyway. But if you're interested in meeting me, by all means, I will be there. Like you said, I think Irish Team is going to be there. Maybe Team Skeptic. I don't know. There's a few of them, I think.
Yep.
So you guys will
be there. Yeah, it should be good.
Absolutely. Fun. Yeah, we'll have a good time. So if you guys want to come out and hang out and you know just see what it's like to meet a hillbilly policeman, I'll be more than happy to shake your hand and appreciate you guys coming out. But if you haven't checked out my channel, if you don't mind, check out Leaducator. And if you're interested in anything that I do, I'm not the content creator these guys are, but I do kind of a daily thing at least, or usually a couple times a week at the very least. So, but I appreciate all you guys. Stay focused, stay driven, and we will keep going. I promise.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on here and giving us your look. We were just happy we can console you. I know you're broken up about this, and again, you know, anytime you need to talk, you just let me know. We'll get a big teddy bear out there for you. I know you're just devastated about this news.
Well, I really wanted to crush his face, so I'm not gonna lie and say that I didn't. But yeah, I think overall the event will still be fine, and we'll still have a good time with it.
Awesome. Now that is on the 24th of September, correct?
Absolutely, at the Ashland Armory in Ashland, Kentucky.
There you go. So if you're in the Ashland area or plan on being in the Ashland area, go check this out on the 24th. Go check out Leaducator. Give him a handshake from Johnny O. Have some fun. Get out there, raise some more funds for St. Jude. That would be awesome. Educator, thank you so much for stopping by. I know you got things you got to get done. I'm sure you have family or something that you want to go water the
absolutely. Johnny, thank you for having me on, Johnny, and I will catch you next time, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, bye-bye.
Cheers, man. All right, that was fun. The Educator, man. Yeah, here's the thing. We all knew it was going to happen. There's not a person who is surprised about this. Not a person who is surprised about this. No Northern Corruption Monitor. No, the police officer did not back out. It was the beta bitch that backed out. Just like the rest of the First Amendment frauditors. My goodness. We all knew it was gonna happen. We all knew Chili was gonna bitch out because he's a bitch. That's just the way it is. Chili's just got nothing better to do. That being said, I was supposed to have another guest on, but hey, Patty Mel, good to see you. But I just got a message that Matthew Leslie's, I think his son had a reaction, had to go to the hospital. Hope all is well with his kids. Is going to catch up with some, with some of my older pals. I've known Matthew for a long time. He's been in the bands called all kinds of shit. He's a fun guy. But yeah, so we wish him and his kids the best. I hope they're recovering. That being said, we're going to turn this into a free-for-all. So who wants to talk about what? I can tell you right now that everybody is pretty much on board with out of 136 votes. 97% of you said that yes, they are no, that they're not real. His injuries are not real. He's faking. I agree. I think he is. And Chili, I think you're faking. I think you are. I think you're a bitch. You're a bitch. You're a bitch. I'll tell you to your face. I'll have to get down on, to your level. I have to lower myself down. I don't know, or get you an apple box to stand. I'm sure you know what that is, but my goodness. Yep. Oh no. Here's the thing. So he says he had it stolen. Bullshit. I call bullshit on that too. Now I know he showed his police report, but anybody can make a police report. I can make a police report if somebody repossesses my car. I can, right, somebody stole my car, and then make a police report. And then it comes back, it would come back a couple hours later. Like, no, it wasn't stolen. It was repoed. Pay your fucking bills. Yeah. Skid Crasher for $2 says, hello, Johnny O. Hello, Skid Crasher. Thank you so much for $2. I appreciate that. Don't argue with stupid people that will bring you down to their level and beat you with experience. Absolutely. I generally don't argue with people who are stupid. I just make fun of them. Yeah. I would need to stack 4 apple boxes. You're probably right. You're probably right. Ladybug says, why doesn't he post a medical report or something? That would be the first thing I would do if people doubted me. Because he doesn't want that, because he knows he's full of shit. Hey, Mr. Schrodinger's cat, good to see you. Let's see here. You actually thought he would flunk the way in? I thought for sure he was going to fail the drug test. Honestly, I mean, I knew he was going to get out of it some way. Somehow he was getting out of it. J.O. Warren's being funny. No confirmation of the repo. No, he didn't. It wasn't. I don't think it was stolen. I think it was repoed. Patty Mel says, what is that van is sunk in a lake somewhere, probably, or it's sitting in a lot somewhere that somebody, because again, it's been repossessed. What does repossessed by someone mean? That means that we had somebody come in and take his car, basically legally take his car. Michael Bowen for $5 says, I hate him, but at least he quit now and not when everyone spent more to go. I will give him that. At least he chickened out as soon as he could, instead of waiting for other people, to put more money and whatnot, costing the promoters. At least he did that. Dimension Lord, who's been a crew member for 7 months, says, "Are you going to go see Black Panther 2?" I don't know. I'm not against Black Panther or Black Panther 2. And it takes a lot to get me to want to go to the movies. Like when it comes out on TV, I might watch it on TV or whatever the pay sites that I have. I think I've got Disney Plus for the kids. So if it comes out on Disney Plus, I'll probably go check it out there because I enjoyed Black Panther. I thought it was good. It's a shame what happened to God, his name just escaped me. His name just escaped. I'll think of it here in a minute. Hey, Patty G, good to see you. Hey, some old dude, good to see you. And then Struggle Salter, who's been a crew member for 7 months, says, "Thank you for the content you create. You're most welcome. I appreciate the support. Really do. I know it's been a minute since I've put out videos. It's been a minute, and I'm going to get back to more regular content creation. I promise. I've been working really hard on some film projects, a lot of things coming up, kind of getting my ducks in a row, reworking schedules. Kids are going back to school, so there's been a lot of stuff that's been on my plate. Not a very good excuse. Hey, Charlie Girl, good to see you. Oh, Charlie Girl, there we are. Just became a new member. Thank you so much for joining the Plot Hole crew. Absolutely appreciate it. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. I've got a couple of videos in the works. I've also got a couple of projects that are also in the works. So, speaking of which, Mrs. Schrodinger's cat says, "So tell us about Insomniac Films." That is the new production company that I have put together. I'm actually running a crowdsourcing for it. There's a links in the description. If you want to get involved, you are more than welcome to. I really do appreciate the support. Tesla Benton says it's odd, but good to see your room all lit up. Yeah, I actually changed some lighting around here. I need to work it a little bit better, but it is what it is. Back to Insomniac Films. Again, running crowd with a little bit of. I need some more vodka. I'm running that crowdsourcing. I've got a lofty goal. I do get Chadwick Boseman. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Patty. Golly, I can't believe I did his name just poof. There he is.
You having a stroke over there?
I think so.
A little bit of
yeah. Sometimes it,
a little bit of expressive aphasia.
I'm not going to answer that question right now, Steamy Cup of Reason. I'm not going to answer that question right now. I can't. Vixter T, you did miss the Educator, but that's okay. You can always rewind and check and catch up. But yeah, so Insomniac Films. Follow the link. I got some really awesome. I'm sorry, Struggle Salter. Yeah, I forget sometimes. I know Jail forgets too.
I apologize. I have a dark sense of humor. And
definitely didn't mean to be offensive.
Yeah,
absolutely not. Terribly sorry for that. Anyway, yeah, not funny. We'll just let that awkwardness settle in for a little
bit. We'll just sit here and soak in it for a second.
Struggle says, "No worries, I laughed." Okay.
Okay, so it was one of those. That's not funny, guys. Come on.
Chili missed out on the Leaducator. Yes, he did.
Leaducation, fist of lead.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, and I've heard everybody's been talking about it. Kiss a cat because they're not women. That's a Parks and Rec joke right there. Why do men grow beards? Because they are not women. So the one thing that stood out to me was the sheer balls on this dude. Number one, thinking that he honestly thinks that everybody around him is just dumb enough to believe his crap. His lies are so transparent and they're so bad. Anybody educated in the slightest can see his lies for what they are.
Oh,
but
yeah.
the sheer I don't really think I had an idea as to the sheer level of incognizance of this person. Then when he said with a straight face, "Chad, you are not on my athletic level. Like you are nowhere near my athletic level." And then immediately followed that statement with, "But I can't pass the physical." And I'm
but wait a second. I've got to give credit where credit's due. Chili wasn't wrong. Chad is not on.
That's true. That's true. He is not that low. He is not that low of an athletic level. So technically, he's correct on that
He
one.
told the truth. I gotta give him that.
I'm talking about. Okay, then fine. And if you look at the words with no if this were a text message, then sure he was telling the truth. But in the context of his speech, then we will say, no, the level of incognizance of this man, or this man child, belongs in Guinness. Yeah. There should be a record handed out. Be like, the lack of self-awareness is the greatest in the world. Yep. Here is your reward for being the stupidest mother to walk the planet.
It's just sad because, again, like I was speaking with Leaducator about, he's one of these guys that is going to continue to run his mouth. He's going to continue to do what he does. He needs someone to...
Until his body can't cash those checks.
Well, it couldn't, and that's what happened. It's exactly what happened.
That's true. His body couldn't cash that check.
Chili was like, no, I'm not going to do it. No. It's just, my goodness.
Yes, wrote it no last name. Trump hears the stuff that Chili is saying is like, damn. Even I wouldn't have the stones to try and pull that off.
I mean...
I grifted the nation, but this dude... is going to say something like that and still expect people to think he's smart. That's great. He's grifted on a whole other epsilon omega level. You know what I'm talking about? Epsilon, Charlie.
Now, two things we're going to get. Mr. Shorting's guy says, hearing about Chili not fighting is not surprising. What I want to hear about is more about Insomniac Films. Please donate. Yes, if you can. If you can, it's great. There's some really awesome... there is some really awesome perks that are up for grabs in this, mind you, especially once a certain project that this guy and I are working on gets the green light. That's going to be so much fun. If you want to have yourself nailed to the wall or decapitated with a saw blade or something, I can make that happen. That's all I'm saying. I can make that happen. Not like for real. You know what I mean? I don't want you thinking this is not some weird hostile type shit.
No, it's not people. For real. Oh, I used the wrong eye, didn't I? Oh, crap.
But yeah, you can do that. Follow the link in the old description. It'll be lots of fun. Now this right here, I have to bring this up. Maybe it was Glenn who swept his knee.
Actually, considering all of this that's gone on, like all of this, I have the most insane idea I have to share with you. It's just when I heard you talking, I was in the kitchen, I was doing the dishes, and I heard you talking to Educator, and I was like, and then all of a sudden it just popped in my head, and I'm like, oh, I got to share this with Johnny and see what he thinks.
Oh well, yeah, absolutely.
It's the most insane idea I think I've come up with. It's just wild. So like antithetical just to what you would anticipate and expect. Yep. But I got to share. I'm going to share it with you afterward because if it leads to something, I don't want to spoil it. But I gotta run it by you.
Oh, for sure. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Mrs. Schrodinger's cat. She's been one of the biggest. She's one of my biggest cheerleaders. I love her to death. Says you get all kinds of perks if you donate to different amounts. There's also a wish list to help Johnny get what he needs for this production company. Absolutely. So a lot of people don't want to put cash up, and that's fine. There are different. I have a whole list of things that if you'd rather send a piece of gear or whatever, you can do that. Boom, and you'll get the same perks for whatever it is you decide to put in there. Some awesome perks. Really are some awesome perks. Heat Shield says JL Ghost Hunter has insane ideas. Well. Damian Paxton says at the plot hole of JL, you need to make a movie about Chili, Naked Gun style. That would be kind of fun. That would be fun. As a Canadian, would I need a work permit to apply for an acting gig? Nope. Wouldn't need a work permit. You just come down and do your thing.
You basically would just depends upon the job that you're working on. The vast majority of independent jobs are going to be deferred. So you pretty much would just like signs like, hey, I'm appearing on this. This is my right. This is the rights to like have my face and to actually produce this and put it out there and market it. And then it would just be like deferred payment. Either the payment would be deferred to something else, or you're contributing your time. And I can tell you that while some people may disagree with it, some people may not, it's just that's part of the business, that when you're starting out, you wind up doing like a lot of extra work for a pittance, or you wind up doing a bunch like a little things that, just for free in order to build your reel, so that you can, because there's thousands of productions that will put you on camera for free, and then that's how you build your, as an actor, that's how you build your reel, and that's how you demonstrate to other people, is look, you could see me on camera, look at all these times, now pay me to work on camera. So it just takes time. It takes, that's what it's good. They call it paying your dues. So
right. Roseanne Massman says, please ask JL where I can send his and Irish Demons XXXLTs. My boss won't let me take time off now since the fight was canceled.
I don't think there's enough X's there.
I think we're missing X.
Damn, y'all ain't that big.
I'm talking about Irish.
Holy shit! I'll take a 3. You see, okay, I typically wear a double X because I've let myself kind of go. I typically wear a double X now. I like 3Xs because 3Xs fit me very comfortably. But when my wife is looking for something to sleep in, she can grab one of my big 3X shirts, and she can wear it to go to sleep in.
She can wear it like a
nightgown. Exactly.
She can wear it like a nightgown that has a train.
So that's why she digs it.
JL, is Demon still coming over? Yeah, as far as I know, everything is booked up. He's still coming over.
We are still trying to figure out the logistics of what exactly we're going to do, because Irish is going to be coming into town before I get there. So Irish is in town earlier than me, and then I'm leaving because I still have Week in Horror, and I got to run the show on Wednesday because that Wednesday is our season premiere for season 4. That's when we're going to debut the new artwork. We got like a bunch of stuff coming up. So we got the season premiere on Wednesday, and then I leave town for Ashland, and it's like a 12.5-hour drive for me. So I got to jump in the car and I got to haul butt, and I got to get everything set like literally after the show. So I get the entire week all set, and then I'm in the car. I drive out there, and then we do the thing. But he's going to be out there earlier, so I don't know what he's going to be doing. We're going to pair up at some point, and along the journey, I intend to visit the St. Louis Archway, the Louisville Slugger, I guess, where they make the bats in the museum thing. Yep, that one. And I'm supposed to go somewhere with a metal detector and look for muskets from the Civil War is the thing that you can do, apparently, if I get my hands on a metal detector. But most importantly, on the way back, when I have free time, when I'm free and I'm not in a rush to get back,
what's that?
I will be going to the Ark Encounter. So
Evan wants to know, can you get a 3X trifold? Mr. Shortinger's cat.
Yes,
says,
it's called Glenn Serio's underwear.
Oh, why did you do that?
Now you have that image in your mind.
No. Mr. Shortinger's cat says no porn, but they might have nudity in his films. Dramas, comedies, and horrors. Yeah, I don't know.
That's a horror right there. Is exactly what that is.
JR never told me where to send them since I can no longer go. Where? Do you have?
If you can contact me on Facebook, I can tell you where to send them.
Yep. Chris Durham is in the house. It's Ken Ham, Ark Encounter. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I am finally going to go out there. I'm going to. Unfortunately, from what I understand, they are really, really aware of trolls going in. They like on-site personnel. They've essentially been trained to try to weed out trolls. They don't want people coming in and making a mockery of this giant thing that the state dumped a truckload of money into that is still not paid off. So there's a giant state investment in order to make this thing that it's basically a theme park, and it has made very little money back. And supplied very few jobs because they're not necessary. There's no business. So they want to ensure that as few trolls as possible make it into the Ark so they can making fun of it, so that they can demonstrate it on YouTube and on our channels how stupid this thing is, and invariably the state may eventually decide this thing is not worth funding anymore and shut it down, or pull our funding and eventually it will close. So, and then could you imagine it shuts down? This is just, what are they going to do with it?
Hopefully
just disassemble it.
And
I want one
Turn
of
it
those
into an
dinosaurs.
evolution museum.
I want one of the cages with the dinosaur in it. I want it in my office.
yeah,
So
Victor T says Chile offered to postpone the fight. Anyone know if that's possible? I mean,
Not
it
this
is.
fight.
Yeah, it is possible that they could reschedule to a later date, but
not in 4 or 6 months. It'll be sometime next year if they do it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It won't happen anywhere. Look, it's not going to give Chili enough time to grow a pair of testicles. That's for certain.
That's how I'm drinking, dude.
Not enough time in the fucking world for that. That's
And-
not happening.
And at that point, and he also said he like in 4 months or 6 months, still it would be next year. He would go to Chad's practice room and do this, and I'm like, no, that's just ridiculous.
Where there's no official, and he can
Exactly.
take and make up any BS story,
Right.
say that Chad pulled some stuff,
Oh, we'd never let him do that, especially
doesn't want a crowd.
everyone will literally be.
Yeah. Yeah, right. William Rabbit says, jail, you may burst into flames with the ark. That's true. That's true.
If I burst into flames, if I step into the ark and I burst into flames, there will be your evidence.
Yeah.
I'll go. I'll bring my accent. They'll let me in like I'm somebody's damn cousin.
He's got to be one of us.
Listen to him. There ain't no way he's educated. Let him in.
Oh, man.
I always said I would find evidence if evidence was there. If I burst into flames when I walk in the ark, I give you your evidence.
Yeah, but it's like you're the modern day witch. Someday with global warming, the area where the ark is will flood. Ken will be saved as he floats away in the ark. You'll be like, I guess it had a purpose after all.
Okay, so if that happens and the ice caps melt and it's like the oceans rise like 15 feet and I'm sitting there hanging to I'm hanging onto like the steeple of a flooded church and I see him going by like on his boat, I would be like, well, son of a bitch.
I was wrong.
It leaks when it rains, so he better bring a damn sump pump because otherwise it's going down one way or another.
Wrote in the last name says, well, make Gerald wear a striper shirt. Yeah, yep. Striper or Petra. Wear Petra or what was the other one? There was another one that was kind of big. Not White Snake, but something like that. It's kind of, yeah.
Poison, Twisted Sister.
No. Because Striper
Oh.
and Petra, those are like religious, like Christian metal.
Oh,
bands.
the fish.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yep.
I like the Darwin
Creed
one.
t-shirt.
I like the Darwin where it's like a fish with legs and it's eating something else. So. What was it? Okay, so someone brought it up. It said that Aaron Raw did not burst. Tessa Bitten.
Yeah,
Aaron Raw didn't burst into flames.
I can't believe they let Aaron Raw in there because I know they know who he is.
Oh yeah. Well, that's more attention for them.
White Cross says Tessa Bitten. That's the other one I was thinking of. White Cross, the other Christian metal
Aaron
band.
Raw looks like Rob Zombie and Frankenstein had a child. There's no way they didn't recognize him.
They knew who he was.
instantly.
Oh, should I? Killer Klutz Clothing says I should wear a Hawaiian shirt and a big cross around my neck. I'll be fine.
Oh, do you get right in?
Oh yeah.
Well, come on in, brother.
We'll just put you in dad attire, polo, some slacks.
Why did that come off like Hulk Hogan? Come on in here, brother.
Okay.
Hey, brother.
Dog the bounty hunter.
That's all I can think of when they call each other brother, or dog the bounty hunter. Be like,
Yeah,
hey,
dog,
brother.
Hey, brother. Yeah.
I'll hunt you down and bring you to Jesus.
brother.
Brother. Mr. Shergan's Cat says, come on, people, donate to Atomic Films. It's Johnny's dream. He does so much for us. Let's do something for him. When he's a celebrity, we can say we knew him when he was on YouTube. That's also true. I don't know how the celebrity status will work, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Well, once
puppies
you're
are home.
famous, nobody will know what you look like because you're going to be behind the camera the entire damn time.
Camera
Boom,
anymore.
boom, boom, boom.
Go51 says, dogs and cats living together.
Mass hysteria.
Yes. Yep.
And yes, I get it now. Striper was an '80s Christian hair metal band. I could wear if I wanted to go something that I'm really familiar with. I could go up there wearing like a Creed or Jars of Clay,
I like that. You gotta be singing with arms wide open.
All those bands.
What was it?
There you go.
If you want to do 90s
Days of
rock.
the Stone Temple Pearl Creed.
Yeah. He couldn't make it.
I think Aaron just got
No, they still play that on the radio here regularly. Like, you know, you're in the South as soon as a rock station starts playing Creed and Nickelback. You have arrived.
Okay, Ida Pimp, Ida Pimp You to Ho. So this really depressed me. So okay, yes, it is sometimes difficult for me to get behind a Christian band. When it's hard for me to stay invested in a band when I find that they're Christian. That is a part of my bias, and I recognize that. But I also tend to try to recognize skill where there is skill. So bands that are talented, I still like listening to their music. So I have to like really refocus my mind when I'm listening to their lyrics. Skillet, I'm actually a fan of Skillet. I do. Yeah. I like their music. I like their. I kind of have a man crush. I got a crush on their drummer. Jen is like super hot, and plus drummer vocals. Hell yeah. So I have to refocus because I know that they're singing about God. So I just switch in my mind like I'm singing about my wife, and so I just put the focus like she's the focus of the song. And the same thing happened with Flyleaf. Because I really liked Flyleaf, and then I suddenly realized, girl, what are you doing? I was like,
it's all mainstream. They diversify anyway. I mean, it's the almighty dollar. It becomes a lot more subtle in their lyrics.
Although with Creed, it wasn't as subtle. It was so in your face that people didn't realize it until somebody pointed it out. They're like, hey, listen to what he's talking about here. There's a lot of like that in there. People are like, oh my God, I'm so shocked. I can't believe it.
I can't
do what you do. Here's the thing. Do what you do. Commander Darklight is in the house. Says Believer was a Christian death metal band back in the day. Music was good, but I couldn't listen to them. This is what kills me.
Same thing happened with 21 Pilots. I didn't realize that 21 Pilots is a big time. I like 21 Pilots. I can't remember the album. Their first album was amazing, and there was not a song in there I didn't like. And then I found out much later that in this little interview, my faith plays a huge role in my poetry and my song. And I'm like, oh, son of a bitch, that's what those songs are about. Damn it.
But here's the thing.
Then I had to refocus.
Here's the thing. If you like it, you like it. Do what you do. The thing that killed me, I was at a death metal show. Okay, now these are death metal acts, but they were Christian death metal acts, which is weird. It's like a weird combination, right? So we're talking about, I got these guys up there on stage playing some hardcore music and whatnot, and then they stop in between each song. They do some sort of like, faith healing or like, this group prayer shit, whatever. And then after they do this, they're like, praise Jesus. Now get in the death pit. Like, okay.
The music damages you, and then their faith heals you so that the next set can damage you again.
Exactly. It's so funny.
Back when you were 7, you heard the songs on the radio. You didn't know that like 50% of it was about screwing. You were just singing the song because the song was good. So just stick with that logic. You're fine.
Sex or drugs. Or some combination of the two.
Yep.
It's like, or unless it's Eric Clapton and he's just being like totally upfront about it.
He's like, I have a song called Cocaine. And you're going to like it.
It's cocaine.
Like, little girls dancing to WAP now. It's like, well, give them a few years and then their parents can deal with that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's one thing I didn't particularly care for. So Commander Darklight, I have a story about this. I worked for a certain toy store. It was the biggest one that there was.
They're out of business. You can say
no, they're not. No, they are not. They are back.
They're out of business, but they are owned by somebody.
So you can still say it.
Anyway, it didn't matter. You guys figure out who it is.
The fucking giraffe.
There's
all right.
So, there you go.
In the store that we had there was a specific radio station we had to listen to that was like corporate controlled. So it was all these kids songs and whatnot. And there was one song that came on that was Kermit the Frog singing to Miss Piggy, that fucking Beach Boys song. And you have that line in there, and it's Kermit the Frog, afternoon delight. And then Miss Piggy goes, ah! I'm like, holy shit, this is terrible. This is terrible.
That's some dark shit right there.
Well, especially because frogs don't reproduce in the same method as mammals, so it was like a skeet sort of event.
If I produce enough, some of it will make it in there.
We'll make it there. Yeah. Kokomo is the Beach Boys. William Grabber.
Yep.
But yeah, afternoon. I know that Afternoon Delight, that song is not the Beach Boys. I know that. But the song they were singing that had the line Afternoon Delight in it was Kokomo by the Beach Boys. So, yeah.
I figured you were going to say something about you made a Toys R Us kid.
I mean,
on the clock.
Toys We Be kid. No, did not do that on the clock. No, not at the toy store.
Us our toys, yes.
Not at the toy store, exactly.
A bit late am I, but made it before the end.
But look at it. Boom. I'm gonna keep putting this stuff up there because Tina will beat me if I don't, and because sorry, I'm getting Martin Scorsese is texting me right now.
Oh, you're talking about Eugene?
Yeah.
Okay. Eugene is our Scorsese.
Eugene, he is. My goodness.
Eugene kills me posting those pictures of him on set because he's got this badass rig hooked up to a rail, and I've got freaking Canon maxes out at 4K.
I don't know if okay, you shouldn't feel too bad because it's not his rig.
Yes, it is.
Not from those pictures. That's not his personal rig.
Yes, it is.
That's no, yeah, that's
no, it is not. That is his.
That's his.
I don't know if
that's his equipment.
I don't know if the most recent one was, but I know previous ones were because I asked him about it, how he built it, and how much it cost and everything.
My lights, his camera, yeah.
So okay.
He's actually just dropped another huge investment into a red camera. So yeah, our production
his big.
That's where to go.
Camera.
Jail, will you please check your August 16th FB post? Cannot find an email for him.
My August 16th Facebook post.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Sam, I'm good to see you. Road No Last Name says, I see JL's new horror script. Toy store radio subliminal signal causes children to go on murder spree.
That's Halloween. That's Halloween 3. So
yep.
Well, they kind of melted. They didn't really go on a murdering spree.
Yeah, they just blah. But you can switch it up, and you can turn to like Halloween 3 meets the children or something of that nature. So, but yeah, I can walk that way. I can walk that way.
Children of the candy corn.
Yep. Children of the candy corn. So yeah, I mean, I gotta say, back to the what is this? Oh, let me just go away. Back to this. Boom. Hey, Anna, good to see you.
Children of the candy corn.
Anna, definitely, he's put in. He actually did. He contributed quite a bit, and he's got some cool perks coming. You guys want to know what these perks are? I'll tell you what they are. We have perks, like a t-shirt, limited edition t-shirt that's only going to be available during this particular campaign. And AMG is telling me that the next 5 contributions get a special bundle. What are we looking at? You tell me, Tina, and we'll do it. Whatever it is, she's a mastermind with this stuff. She's like, really awesome with this.
Ed 209, to answer your question, a red camera is an excellent high definition camera. That's pretty much the industry standard for independent films these days.
Yep.
It used to be when they first came out, like the highest end possible. When the red first debuted, those rigs went upwards of 60 to 80. Sometimes I think there was one that was like a little. That was a little.
They
over
still,
$100,000.
But you still have your the Red Raptor XL that it's funny.
Well, I mean, that's the newest that they come out because they keep improving. They keep
Yeah,
coming out
no,
with better
sure.
models.
The
When the
newest one
Red
they
first
have-
arrived, and it was literally just when the Red model first arrived, there was like 3 different packages, and they went the big one went over $100,000. Nowadays, it doesn't require that heavy of an investment, but it's been cheap enough. They're cheap enough now that they've become the industry standard for independent filmmaking.
Yeah. The tippy top is generally Ari, but you're talking about rental
So here's the
studios
thing.
and stuff. But
we could take a look at the Ari Alexa. We could take a look. So Eugene and I did a lot of like what would be the best route to go specifically for projects we're working on. The Ari Alexa, Sony Venice, and the Red Raptor. Those are going to be your top dogs. But so AMG says shirt, stickers, the perk they qualify for. So any perk that you decide to get into, we have them as little as $50, as much as a bazillion bucks. Or I think the biggest one we have is an actual motivated part with lines in a film. So a movie role, so credited movie role for five big ones, $5K. Anything, anywhere in there. And of course, if you want to throw in like $1 or $2, whatever, anything you get, you're going to get a sticker. At least, if you want to, even the people are like, well, I don't have a whole lot, I can give you $5. Cool. I'm going to write you a note, send you a sticker, something. We're going to give you something for your money. Invest in lenses. Cameras may change, but lenses are forever. Yes and no, right? So the better glass that you have absolutely is going to help improve your camera. The camera that Eugene is getting is going to put him into the area where he doesn't have to upgrade for a while. This will be something that can take our productions through the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I would say 20.
I would, because there are people who
dude. 2043. No, I mean, come on, dude. Listen, 2043. There's going to be like, 2043. You're going to be getting into VR. VR is going to be more immersive content.
Yeah. Blah 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 blah.
I'm just saying. You can't shoot like what Cameron's. You can't shoot what Cameron's doing on a Red.
Bah humbug.
I'm just don't know. 5, 10. Sure. Yeah, I'll give you that. Absolutely. Maybe 15, 20.
Yeah.
Everything's pushing towards immersive content. So that's where the angle is going. It's eventually going to immersive content to where the audience feels that they are physically a part of the action. That is where it's all angling.
That's it, Roman C. So Tesla Ben says, wish I could help out more with your dreams. Here's what you can do. I don't expect everybody to be able to donate, but if you can share this on Twitter, Facebook, in whatever, Instagram, all the things, that would greatly help. Just getting some eyes on it. That actually helps. So we're going to talk about some of the perks, right? So the baseline one, I guess, the exclusive T-shirt that's going to be done specifically for this campaign. No other campaign. This will be once run. You donate $50 or more, and you will get that T-shirt. Let's see here.
Are you signing them?
I mean, I don't know. I tell you, if we meet up, absolutely, of course, I'll put my name on it. Whatever, you know what I mean. But so that. Boom, right there. And then we have the $100 donor wall. So this guy back here, these screens back here are going to be turned into my donor wall. We'll see everybody who gets the $100 or more. We'll see their name back here scrolling across. We also have getting your name in film credits for $250 or more. So film credits, boom. Thor Rasmussen says, I proudly wear my Invasion It shirt, the only one in Denmark. That's awesome.
And what you do is you say, well, if you meet me here, I'll sign your shirt for you. And when they show up, you're like, hold this microphone. That's your quickest way of staffing up.
Yep, that's what we do. Yeah. While you're here,
He Shield said, I want to be an actor, but I can't be dishonest 16 hours a day. LOL, I would be good at it if I had no soul. To be perfectly honest, Heat Shield, actors use lies to tell the truth. So that's the important thing. Is that we use lies, we use deception, we use the facade.
Thank you, Rogo, last name.
To tell you the truth about things. For every avatar, this is true. Yeah, there's still a clerks or a pie. where hopefully we're not maxing out 6-7 credit cards in order to shoot a production like Kevin Smith did, because that was a hell of a gamble.
Taipan 23, that'll be fun.
7.
We might actually turn that into a shit, Taipan. So we also have another perk for $500. You can visit a set, you can get a guest, you can come hang out with me behind the scenes, see how everything kind of works out. Lots of amazing things you can do. See some of the magic, so to speak, behind the film set. It's always fun.
Talking.
That's true. If you want to donate a little bit more, $750 or more, you can actually come be a part of my crew. You'll work on a film set. Basically, they'll put you in as against another credited part. You can come help me. You can hold a flag or something. Whatever you really want to do, learn whatever you want to learn. Have some fun. Again, more set access. For $1,000 or more, you can be an extra in a film. So we'll use you as background. Yeah, not an actor, but I play one on TV, says Road No Last Name. I see what you did there. And of course, we have a walk-on role where you be involved extra. So something as little as, ordering a beer from the bar, lighting somebody's cigarette, something. We're going to be a little bit more involved, not just background characters. We'll also
they'll have movement.
Yes, they'll have movement. They won't just be standing there.
Background, movement,
right?
Sound, speed, exactly. Camera.
Right. And then we have a tier. How much to shave your beard? 65,000. Name on set. So what we'll do is we'll creatively put your name on a set. It'll either be somebody's name tag, it'll be graffitied on a wall, something. But your actual name, blam, we'll put that on screen for everybody to see, and we'll make sure and put your address there too, so they can find you. Just kidding.
Logan, that would be a no. So, just as a serious question, then for a serious answer, that the quick answer to that is no. If you donate and get a credit in a line, no. First and foremost, this is the wild thing about it, is that to get your SAG card, to become a member of the Screen Actors Guild,
a lot of work.
You have to do a bunch of work on SAG productions.
Right.
So they have to be SAG affiliated productions. You have to work on those productions in put in a certain amount of hours. Once you get those hours within a certain amount of time.
Right.
So it can't be like 3 SAG productions over.
I got 3 SAG.
Yeah, it can't be 3 SAG deals over like so many over like a bunch of years. So you do a number of SAG productions within a set amount of time, and you have to. I have to see what the requirements are now. But once you accomplish that, you then have a limited window in which you can apply to get into SAG, and then you pay your dues and you get your SAG card. Yep. This takes a lot of work to do. The problem is, and this is the weirdness of Hollywood, to get on a SAG production, you have to have your SAG card.
It's weird, yeah. It's very difficult.
So, but there's a way called the Taft Johnson method, which is when someone who is affiliated with the production brings you in.
Yeah. Usually you'll go through a casting company that is SAG affiliated for extra work specifically, and those will count. So yeah, there's a lot of things. Taipan 23 says would love to donate, but the bank has blocked my card for YouTube. We'll see them on Monday to have it sorted out. Again, if you can, you can. If you can't, just like I said, putting that stuff out on the old internet, all the tubes and the everything, get some eyeballs on it. Robert Kennedy says I will do tasteful nudity, and then Road No Last Name says I will do disgusting nudity. Taipan says if you were doing it in Australia, it would be up to putting in some serious time helping out. We never know where our film projects will take us. We're starting out a little small now, but they're getting bigger. We have a few things up. And then the top tier, the big dog tier for $5,000 will get you an actual line in the film. Could be a line. It could be, again, we could, like I said, make you into fodder that gets blown up by the bad guy or something. It's going to be some sort of highly involved. Like when we eventually get the green light on the project that we're working on, Nail Gun, we'll turn you into somebody who Nail Gun, blows up, burns, throws a thing through the head. Something would be a lot of fun. Nothing too serious with stunt work for obvious reasons, but yeah, lots of cool stuff. And of course, if cash is not your that's not how you want to run, I've got gear that you're more than welcome to purchase and send my way. And again, everything that is purchased and sent my way, whatever the item of whatever the value of the item is, that's what you'll get perk wise. So tons of awesome things. And again, if you can't donate, that's awesome. Just share it on Twitters and Facebooks and all that stuff. Get the word out. It'd be so awesome.
I'll promo my stuff, my stuff as well. I write things.
Sometimes he writes things like the Penthouse Forum online edition that's got JL all over it.
So
I never thought it would happen.
I never thought they'd publish
Mr.
it.
Andret says, how much to get blown up? Well, if you want to get blown up, like, what do you mean, Mr. Andret? Blown up how? Like, you want to be in a scene where your character gets blown up? Yeah, we can make that happen.
Just put Johnny O on your life insurance. That's all.
Johnny O is my life insurance beneficiary. Boom. Omni Ouroboros. How much to get blown up?
Not much, but you just got to dress for the job you want.
But absolutely get in there and do what you can.
I write anything. It's like as you know, it's not difficult. I mean, it's like I write every episode of Week in Horror. I write all the scripts for Week in Horror, but that's just the podcast. But everything we've almost everything that we shot like Week in Horror is shot like that. I wrote the Nail Gun script. I wrote many things for Eugene that Eugene has shot that have won various awards to the 40-hour film festival. I write. That's what I do. It's predominantly what I do these days is I write. And I've written a number of things for Johnny. I've written a number of shorts. I've been I get paid for my writing, so I don't need anything. I have everything here. It's my keyboard and my computer. So I write things. So if you want to pay me to write you something, I'll write you something.
You can always hire JL. He's a great writer. AMG, Tesla Bidden, thank you very much. He's the first of the 5 bundles that we're giving away today. So $50. He's claimed his exclusive t-shirt. Boom. And he's going to get, we're getting stickers made. I forget what they look like, though. So terrible. But that's 1 down, 4 to go. Let's see if we can get 4 more before the night is over. It'd be so amazing if we did. So amazing if we did. What happened? There it is. Sorry, getting text from Scorsese again. Let's see here.
These guys are so gonna be like
Robert Kennedy
they're gonna
said,
blow up and they're gonna blow up and just forget like me and Alex. And
No,
Aaron,
not at all.
Like, run off and do their thing, and we're gonna be like watching them at the fucking Oscars and shit, and be like, "These motherfuckers."
Maybe.
He's gonna be up
All
there
right,
like
Aquaman,
like
thank you for
Eugene
hanging
be
out.
up there like Jordan Peele, like, "Oh yeah, this is
Robert Kennedy says that he did say you could do a line.
Of course, I'm a writer.
I think you missed the line he was talking about.
That's how Chili lost his job. Too many lines.
Allegedly.
So true.
Some old dude said for $5 says, JL, how much per word?
I don't charge per word. I don't run those kind of rates. I typically depending upon what I'm writing for is what I will charge for. So if it's writing for like a short so if you're writing for a festival, like you want a festival piece, it's going to be like a short film. It depends upon the length. Like a 5-minute script will obviously be less than like a 30-minute script, and obviously be less than a feature-length script. And of course, that includes revisions and whatever goes along. Typically, it's about the amount of hours that go into it, or I'll do like a whole, like just like a base, just like a flat fee. I'll do like a flat fee for, depending upon the job.
Yep.
But if you wanted to hire me to write something for you, send me a message. I'll be happy to chat with you.
Yep. Heat Shield says, I dress for my boss's job, not the job I'm applying for. Got to keep him nervous enough to consider me a threat. Wait, is that how it works? I think so, actually. I think Heat Shield is exactly how it works.
Taipan wants me to write him a check.
Omni Ouroboros says, Johnny O with his sexy Hollywood makeover. I don't know if there's enough makeup in Hollywood to make me sexy, so there we are.
There's enough makeup in Hollywood to make you look like Kristen Stewart.
I doubt that very much. Tesla Bitten still working on my dream job too. Glad to help out.
That's right. You have talent. No one would believe it was her.
That's right. Tesla Bitten, I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Like I said, every little bit helps. It all means something to me. And again, the simple fact that you guys are helping me achieve something. Like I said, I want to be able to give something for I didn't want to make this like a traditional, fundraiser type thing. I wanted to make sure that people were getting something for their money. I didn't want to be like, oh, just give me some money. Now, some, bazillionaire said, hey, boom, here's $100,000. Do what you want with it. I'd be like, all right, cool. But
wrote another name. I never wrote Twilight fanfic, but I did write Buffy the Vampire Slayer fanfic.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I did. Actually, technically, it was one of my first forays to try and start to learn how to screenwrite. I wrote an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I wrote a screenplay for an episode. That was like one of my very earliest attempts because I was a big fan of the show. I was 16 when that show came out. I think I wrote it when I was 17. I based the villain on a video game that I loved. I based a villain that was in Mace of the Dark Age on N64, which is a villain in that, and I based the villain.
You're saying a lot of words that most of the people don't.
They do know what I'm talking about. Like, they do. You don't because you're an old fuck, but they do.
No. N64 was when I was a kid. So I mean, not a kid, but I was older. I mean, I would call that age group kids now, but yeah, I was older when N64 came out. I bought the first one that came out. I had it. My brother and I would love this shit. But yeah, no, it didn't get picked up, unfortunately, because he's still writing for us, Darcy.
No. This is when I was 17 years old and I was just starting. I was like, I can write. I can write stuff. I like to write. I've always been a writer, and I was like, I'm going to try writing a screenplay. Well, what do I want to write? And I was like, well, what if I wrote an episode for my favorite TV show?
Yeah. And
so I tried to write an episode. It was my first foray into it. I think I still have it in a box somewhere on a fucking flash drive, but I think it's like sitting in a
flash drive. You must have like retyped it.
I think when I transferred it to another deal.
Flash drives in our fucking.
No, when I transferred it over. In 1997.
Maybe they had flash drives. Maybe
the flash diskette drives.
Yeah, maybe
on something like that. So, yeah. But it's probably when I updated computers. When I got into a computer, I transferred all my shit over. So most likely, it's probably sitting somewhere in a box. I don't know. But yeah, somewhere there, there's a Buffy fanfic that I wrote
somewhere. Vertiferk says, get Chili to audition. He could play a toothless old prison princess. Not that big of an acting stretch. Absolutely. Commander Darklight says, I'm an old man. I know you do, Commander Darklight, because you were cool like the rest of us. They called us nerds and geeks and whatever, but we were the cool ones. We really were the cool ones.
Technically, I mean, if you look at my age, technically, I first melted it into a vinyl, and then,
yeah, we melted our own vinyl, cut it, and whatnot.
It was on a reel-to-reel, to then transferred to
all they had a reel-to-reel. It was great. It sounded great. Anyway, Steven Couple Reasons says, serious question. What is the focus of Insomniac Films? Are you doing primarily documentaries, or are you planning on productions and other genres as well? We're all encompassing. We're doing anything and everything that comes our way that we decide we want to do. What this is, so basically, I'll kind of give you the little bit of the rundown of the business plan. So basically, Eugene and I got together and decided that we were going to work as exclusively as we could together, because on a previous set this year, we realized that we worked really well together. Like, we were in lockstep pretty much the entire way. It got to a point where we took over the production. We were, boom. And it just, the way we worked together was great. We were able to, make fun of each other and keep each other relaxed and loose, yet still get things done as quickly as possible and efficiently as possible. So we decided that would be a great way to go. He has focused his portion on the camera side of the thing, and I am focusing my portion on some of the back end sort of things, the grips, the gaffs, lights, and whatnot. So that's kind of where we're at there. And that's not to say that he won't go off and shoot his own thing and I won't go off and shoot my own things. But as it is, that's kind of the start. And as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, then we can start taking on more and more and more productions. What this stuff that I'm looking to get is going to do for me is going to give me the ability to take on bigger productions, just gets me to be able to do more things altogether. So that's what I'm looking at.
Because you can bring the equipment to whatever project it might be.
Exactly.
Even if you're partnering with a larger production company, you can still bring in all the equipment and everything. It just helps out wherever you go.
Right. That gives me the opportunity to like do an instant bid. I don't have to sit there and say, well, I need to check with this rental house to find out what it's going to cost to rent. I can just, boom, I've got my own gear. It makes me more attractive when I show up with all of my own gear. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. And yeah, AMG says, please share the link wherever you post it. That would be great if you guys could share that link. It's something as simple as just sharing the link, getting it out there, getting some eyes on it, makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it's something where it builds too, because even if you're attached to a project, whether you're getting the Insomniac credit or not, it brings in funding that can go towards expanding and a bigger project, and it just snowballs.
Right.
That way.
Not getting it, building reels, building all the credits that I can get. Boom.
And it's that old saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So
I don't know if Seeming Cup of Reason is trying to be funny here, but if this was an accidental, it's still fucking hilarious.
I think that was...
I know it's a typo, I know, but it's fine. Seems to me that documentary films are really your strong suit.
I think you just created a genre.
Yeah, documentaries. Yeah, I know I love doing documentaries. I've got one in the works. It's very early in pre-production. If all again schedule permitting, hopefully it'll be out next year, at the end of next year. Looking forward to that one here. Some old dude for $5 says, looks like no one wants a free membership. Wow. What? Oh yeah, you did gift 5 free memberships. What's going on there? I really do appreciate that, some old dude. I hope you're feeling better. I know you've had some issues, but I see that you're getting back out there. Really, really awesome. Robert Kennedy says, it ain't about looks, Johnny. That's true. It's not about looks. That's why I do stuff in front of the camera as well. Yeah, I'm looking forward to some of the acting gigs that I've got coming up as well. No, it was hilarious, Score. It was hilarious. It was the greatest typo ever. At least you didn't typo.
This is the only thing that I kind of bummed out. The fact that I moved out of Texas is, there's all these acting gigs that are coming up and all these things are coming up that I would love to do that I can't do because I can't drive down to Texas every other day to do them. So
5-hour drive.
Otherwise, I'd have been there in a heartbeat. But I have to be down there. I can't. It's not like I can commute back and forth to the house and be like, okay, I gotta go.
Yeah, but you act like you don't know anybody in Texas that could give you a bed to sleep on for a couple days while you do an acting.
Well, we got the dogs, man. We got the dogs, and I got responsibilities here.
Mm-hmm. I have dogs here.
Okay, for me to be gone for a few days requires upwards of a month of planning. So
sleep is for the weak, man. That's all I'm saying.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Aaron.
Oh,
sleep. Who needs that?
The young buck down here and the guy with the medical condition buck over here.
39, man. I'm only a few years behind you. Can't help it if I'm pretty.
Anyway, so yeah, that's what we got coming up. So I really do appreciate all the help. Everybody who's who's thrown some stuff in the bucket. You guys are great. You guys are awesome. Oh, still more. Okay, there we go. Scorsese is all over me today. That sounded naughty.
Swinging on me.
It usually goes the other way if you want to advance your film career.
Can't get enough.
No, we're not actually talking about the real Martin Scorsese. I'm sure you all know that we're talking about.
Like you'd say you were if you were.
If I were working with Martin Scorsese, the only thing that would
you wouldn't be under NDA.
Again, the only thing that would keep me from saying I'm working with Scorsese would be Scorsese saying, you can't fucking say anything.
You can't tell people you're working with Scorsese, okay? It's like, why are you referring to yourself in the third person? Because I'm fucking Martin Scorsese and I can do that.
Scorsese, I can do whatever the fuck I want.
I would still
tell people I would get fired for that one after I got paid. Yeah, I work with Scorsese. Archangel 3 says, I'll use some peppers, Johnny. Sorry, I have my own fair share of medical issues recently. No worries, man. I get it. The last ones you sent were great. I think I was able, because you sent them dry, so I was able to mash them up, and I used them as chili flakes and chili and whatnot. So, yeah.
Chili flakes out. Roseanne Massman, I linked my email address in the chat, and I tagged you. in it, so you should have gotten it there. Let me know if you saw that, and I'll type it in again if you didn't. But I gave you my email address. It's real simple. I just put it in the chat for you.
Boom, boom. Did anyone see the HBO doc His Way? I have not seen that one. I don't have HBO anymore. I haven't had HBO in I don't know how long, but yeah.
I can't cancel that one. My wife loves Harley Quinn, and they're the only one showing it.
That show is brilliant.
I can't stand.
Brilliantly
The
written.
fact that they take all the men and just like turn them into complete pansies. The Batman's just this crying mess.
Yeah, essentially, it's the worst aspects of who they are. Like Superman is just like a total freaking Chad. It's like, oh, I'm Superman, like this, and then Batman's just like like a whiny little rich boy who lost his parents. He just happens to be Batman at the same time. But the show is brilliantly written. So freaking
maybe
good.
I'll check it out, maybe not. I don't know.
It's funny. It's really funny.
All right, Mr. Andrat, take care. Thank you for stopping by. I want a membership. Yeah, there you go. A Steven Spielberg production. Spielberg. Very good. 4 more. Come on, let's get them. Get them while they're hot. Link is in the old description. I think it's pinned to the top as well. So, be great. Be awesome. You guys are great. Steamy Cup of Reason. What was that? Boom. Holy crap, did someone put new batteries in JL? The last bit about his email went by so fast I can understand a word. Yep.
Wait, what?
Exactly. He says, damn, fat fingers again. Heat Shield says I recently found an old screenshot where you shared a mailing address so I could send a thing to you. Is that still the right one? Yes. Yes, it is. Should be.
Is that Elon Musk's face on a tennis ball?
I believe so.
That's amazing.
I believe so, yeah.
Sentient tennis ball.
Mary Animal says, hello, monsters. Hello. Tawny Eye says, it won't let me get a membership. I think you have to turn something on to allow...
Yeah, it'll take and offer it where you have to go in or it asks you, do you want to be available to receive them? And once that's on, it should work.
Right. Elizabeth Sylvester says 4 more what? So we're doing the bundles, 4 more bundles on the Insomniac Films. Fart fingers. I'm such a child. On the Insomniac, Lesbian Squirrel says you got to turn on gifts. Sorry. Insomniac Films crowdsourcing. So we're doing 4 more bundles for the night. Any donation, $50 or more, will get you a certain bundle. It'll be the whatever your current tier is plus. I think Tina said a shirt and stickers. Well, our stickers, and I forget, but there's a bundle going on. You get it more than just what's put on the current tier. So the tennis ball smells like money.
And the berries taste like burning. Let's see.
Smells like burning. Now we have 51 days left in this crowdsourcing, so hopefully by the end of the 51 days we reach our goal. Be so much amazingness. We'll see what happens though. You guys are awesome, by the way. I don't know if I told you this already. Sitting here, is he trying? That means there'll always be enough. So proud of you. It's the trying that means enough. Oh, I see.
The Elon Musk tennis ball smells like Amber Heard.
Oh, yeesh. Yeah. Yeesh.
Gorilla Spawn says Chili DeCastro posted every video of him performing on infomercials and trade shows, but there's not a single pic or video of MMA Chili. Total bullshitter.
It's because he's not an MMA guy. He was a wrestler in high school. A legitimate wrestler in high school in Alaska. But that's it. I think he was all state. But again, this was like 20 years ago. And I don't know if he's kept up with his grappling and his wrestling, but I still don't think it's enough to keep up with somebody who's even as, I don't want to say as limited training as Leaducator has, but Leaducator's been putting in the past 6 months, been putting in hard work to get ready for this fight. I don't think Chili could handle it. I don't think he could keep up, and I think Chili figured that out. He bit off a lot more than he could chew, and that was it.
I'm so bummed because if this never happens, if he never shows up and never commits to the challenge, if Chili never does this, then I may have missed my opportunity, and that was my chance down there in Tahlequah to just. And I was adult. I was adult about it, and I didn't do anything. And I'm gonna be like,
damn it.
I'm gonna go to my
Aaron,
grave.
I appreciate
I'm gonna
it.
go to my grave and be on my bed, just going like,
Yep.
I should have knocked that fucker out.
I appreciate it. Ron. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So now we have 3 left. 3 out of the 5. 3 more. 3 more. You could do it. It's a lot of fun. You can tell your friends, hey, I got shot in a movie.
Well, Chili put up JL's picture on there like it was something funny, and I'm like, that is terrifying. Like, I would have backed into a corner too.
HM Smitty says, hope my ideas see the light of day and you make millions. Here's the thing. You've given that dollar bill idea you gave me I really like that. I want to go over that with JL here in a little bit. More bouncing ideas off each other. Because even though JL,
because we're big and it's easy.
It's easy. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm full of
JL does do a lot of work. He does contribute a lot of things to our with what Eugene and I do. He's very much involved with a lot of that stuff. So he is a big part of what goes on with not just the Weekend Horror, but with the film projects that I do, with the film projects that Eugene does, and so he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Yeah, he was never going to show. Chelsea May says Leaducator is the best. By the way, if you want to catch the Leaducator portion of the show, just back this up to the first 30 to 40 minutes. Leaducator gets on here and he expresses his thoughts and opinions about that whole situation. He's really fun to talk to. But yeah, they're still gonna meet up with JL, Irish Demon, and a few others. Are going to meet up in Kentucky. They're going to do something to get that whole thing going, to get some kind of charity run for St. Jude. So I had to pimp you to host as I shared on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Like I said, getting eyes on that is awesome.
Rodinello's name said, don't worry, he's eventually going to mouth off to the wrong MFer.
Yes, he is.
We'll need new teeth. My father, my father and I, to anybody who follows my channel, they know that I've been open about it. My father and I had a very, very strained relationship. In fact, we were, at the time of his passing back in 2003, we were virtually estranged. We weren't even really speaking. Well, it was in 2004, sorry. In spring of 2004 when he passed. We weren't even really talking that much. But my dad imparted a good amount of wisdom. In fact, the older I get, the smarter my dad, kind of was. And one of the things he taught me was like, you can say whatever you want. You have that ability to do it. You walk around this world, you just run in your mouth to whatever you want. You can do that. Do not be surprised if you run into someone who doesn't care about the repercussions of taking they're and while they're not all over the place, most people will stand up verbally, they'll stand up for themselves, and then they'll just walk, and then they'll walk away because you're not worth the time to get in trouble. I have my life here. I have bills to pay. I have my wife. I have responsibilities. Chili DeCastro is not worth that. He's not worth me jeopardizing that and putting all the burden of that on my wife just to lay him down. It's not worth it.
Right.
Okay. But there will be someone out there who will not care.
Right.
Who is
they don't give a shit.
Who's just as happy walking on the street as they are behind bars. Right. They don't care. And it will literally all be, it'll just be, and that will be it.
Yep.
And my father always wanted, my father had run into these people like this in the past. And he saw his son going down the same path. And he was like, listen to me on this. And it was a hard lesson learned, but I eventually learned it. And, eventually if Chili doesn't learn it, then that's going to be on him.
I'm surprised he hasn't learned it already. Struggle Salter says, I'm off for the night. Great show at the Plot Hole Bridge Divide. May you spontaneously combust at the Ark. Have a good night, Struggle Salter. Steaming Cup of Reason says, have you got a promo for Insomniac Films? I'll run it on my stream. It's in the works. Tina has been beating me in the back to get it done. So it is in the works, and when I get it, I will share it. Absolutely, I greatly appreciate that. But yeah, it's like I said, HM Spain says I'll take a charge. Yep. Tom Robertson says Chili back out of the fight because he couldn't get a one-handed fight claw, so he could have his selfie cam. That's true. That's true.
You see, nowadays, this is what's wild is that and I get that. Maybe when you can just get thrown like a misdemeanor assault charge, get like a misdemeanor A, and it's like a few $1,000 and maybe some time or time served or whatever. And I get that. I understand that. But the problem is like when Chili was running up on AJ. Okay? The biggest harm, like the worst incidents occur, the worst harm occurs when people aren't prepped for stuff. When people are not prepared. Like, if you're preparing for a fight, that's a different thing. Like, Chili and Leaducator get, doing their training, getting into the ring, having a ref, going at it. That's when people are usually the least hurt, is because there's control. When you're out on the street and something happens like that, the one thing you need is someone getting sucker punched, or someone, not seeing it coming and catching one in the jaw, or catching one in the diaphragm, or somebody trying to back up away from you, not being aware of where they are, and then tripping and hitting their head on the concrete.
So,
and then that's it, and it's and that's when that is when lives get ruined. So
story about that. Roseanne Massman really quick says, I hope we go down to Ashland to meet up with you in JL, or meet up with you in Irish Demon, but it's less likely now. I told Educator that if they refund my tickets, I'll donate the money. Yep. So speaking of which, the other night, Tuesday I believe it was, I was on stream and somebody sent me a message about one of my old patrons at a bar. He used to come in all the time with his lady friend, and they, some of the coolest. He was one of the cooler guys I've ever met. One of the coolest people. He, gave me fucking sweet tickets to the Rangers. I mean, not like sweet tickets as sweet tickets. I mean, sweet as in I'm sitting in a box watching the game, and having some fucking butler guy walk up to me and say, "Care for another Remy Martin?" Those kind of sweet tickets. But there was an incident at a local tavern where he confronted his daughter's husband, who apparently was stalling on signing divorce papers and whatnot. It got physical, and he is no longer with us because his son-in-law headbutted him 3 times, and when he fell, I'm not exactly sure what happened, other than he suffered blunt force trauma to his brain, and that was it.
That happened. There was the same thing happened in 2018. There was a kid. It was a kid who just finished his exams and was out partying with his friends. Got drunk, got mouthy with a bouncer, and they were both mouthing off of one another, and both of them were equally at fault. But the kid kind of at him, and the bouncer hit him 1 time in the face.
Yeah.
And he went down, head off the concrete. 3 hours later, he was gone.
Yep.
So that was what I was concerned about when Chili went at AJ in that moment. When he did that, I didn't know if AJ was watching him. If
the funny thing is,
if AJ was looking at his phone or was looking off to the side, if he had surprised him and knocked him down, or if he tripped over himself and fallen.
Well, right.
That's when people get really hurt. So
this is what Chili needs to understand. Like, the burden of self-defense. Like, if Chili were to do that to me, for instance, in this state that I live in, I have a legal right to knock him the fuck out. And if he falls and hurts himself permanently, that's on him. I was defending myself. So long as I don't, I can't sit there and just kick him while he's down and beat him while he's down. But if he makes I can't curb stomp, right? But if he makes a lunge, like he's going to attack me, the whole thing, well, did he hit you first? Who hit who first? That's not how it works. If he is being the aggressor, I don't have to let him hit me first. I can knock him the fuck out. And that's self-defense. So hopefully the witnesses there so they could see this shit. But yeah, I mean.
Well, with Chili's record, I think if he went to court, he would come on the downside of it.
Yeah.
Well, the really scary ones are the ones that cannot control it due to whether it be an anger management issue or an anxiety issue. Like, once they start rolling, it doesn't stop. And I've seen a ton of them work security and loss prevention, and they're the guys that even after you de-escalate and break it up, they're in the back just marching back and forth, turn around, go back the same direction, because they just cannot stop it. And once they start, like, unless you get lucky and somebody interferes, God knows when they're going to stop.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, it's, like I said, whenever I bounce at bars, I always try to de-escalate. I always try to be the guy coming, hey guys, let's not do this. It's not something we want to do. Probably open myself up for a little bit of, put myself a little more at risk, but I wasn't the guy that's going to walk up on someone and just knock them out and choke them out. I was like, hey, you go your way, and we all go home tonight. But yeah.
When my brother worked as a bouncer, they get the guys that are like, let's take it outside. And okay, let's take it outside. And they walk them to the door. As soon as they got out the door, because they had multiple doors, they pull it shut and lock it.
Yep.
So they couldn't come back in.
Yep. That was always a good one. Yeah. When I got those guys that just would not quit. Or they're going to fight or going to fight. Oh, take it outside. Take it outside. All right, cool. After you.
Bye. See
ya. Now you're out. Agent Smitty. I had a lot of people trip in front of me. All right, let's see. We got three more. Let's see if we can do it. 3 more perks, and you will get extra perks with your perks. So head over to the link in the description or the link pinned in the chat, side chat above you. Get your stuff in. See what we can do. Be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
I agree, Tina. It says it takes a real man to settle things in a better way or walk away. Absolutely. I've never subscribed to that machoism bullshit idea where you got to fight. Look, I don't like to fight. I'm the first person to tell you this. I hate fighting. I will if I have to. And I will do everything in my power to not fight you. But if it gets to the point where it's going to happen, I'm going to step on your knee backwards. I'm going to punch you in the throat. I'm going to poke your eye out. I don't give a fuck, because once we've gotten to that point, and I am convinced that I have given you all the rope in the world to walk away, I don't give a fuck about fair fight, none of that bullshit. I'm the one who's going to walk away from the fight. And if I have to fuck the way you walk up for the rest of your life, that's what it's going to be. But I don't like doing that.
It could have gone a completely different way the way you were saying that.
Yeah, that's true.
No, that's what we do around here.
You're going to walk over, but you're going to limp back. You walk over, but you limp back.
Yeah. But I don't like to do that. I don't like to hurt people. I really don't. I've never been one to, I'm going to hurt people. No, I don't want to do that. I'd rather build people up than tear people down. Clifford Reynolds said, real men settle their scores with competitive lawn darts.
Only if it's 1970s pre-safety ban lawn darts.
Yep. Yeah, winning a fight does not prove you are right, it does not prove that you're right in an argument. Absolutely not. It just proves that you're bigger jerks than the rest of us.
Well, not taking the bait and realizing that something that comes out of an idiot's mouth is worth about as much as that person. But there's a lot of people that think that you got to have the last word, and that just keeps going and escalates to something you don't want to be into. There's times you just got to understand that they're talking because they've lost, and they're trying to make it seem like they haven't.
Yeah,
exactly. Omni Earlsboro says Johnny's in a perky mood. Yes, I am. Go over to the link pinned in the top over there. Get you some perks. Be a lot of fun. You tell everybody you did.
Even perkier if those last 3 would sell.
This is a good one here. Darcy says, what happened to just daring one another to do stupid things? The winner was right. Yeah, exactly. That
way it's not a murder. It's an accidental homicide.
You know what? I'm not going to walk away from what I'm not going to walk away from is Insomniac Films. Please donate, says Mr. Shorter's Cat. You are awesome.
Notice how he shot him below the knee to avoid the attempted murder charge.
Yeah, right.
That's a Chappelle show. That's a Chappelle show reference. If anybody didn't understand that, so.
Yep. Like I said, do what Mr. Shorter's Cat says. You'll be the greatest if you did. You don't have to, but I would appreciate it. And she's back. Hottest hottie on YouTube. It's true. This is true. This is true.
And Taipan, you are correct. The worst fights are those who want to prove, who are trying to like prove themselves, who are like, those can get the ugliest. And while I can't stand fighting, I did enough of it in my youth. I got enough trouble with the law. Whether I was on the right side or the wrong side, it didn't matter. You still get hauled away. I got tired and I got done with it, and I don't like it. I kept up with it so I know how to, so I can take care of myself and and take care of my wife, and I can handle myself. But I don't like doing it because
it's just not. What's the point?
Exactly. What's going to come of it? I mean, when it ultimately comes down to it, you wind up hurting somebody, and they end up going to the hospital. And then the way I always saw it, it's like, doesn't matter who was right or who was wrong. You wind up hurting somebody enough, they're going to wind up going to the hospital. They can hit you with a civil suit. Then you got to go through all that crap. The headaches that come along with it in this litigious society that we live in. There's it's unless it's like an event like Leaducator and Chili, we're going to have poor Chili bitch made out of it, or like I've challenged Nathan Thompson or some other dinguses too. Let's get in the ring in a combat state, in a mutual combat state, which is Washington or Texas. Let's go get in the ring. We'll sign our waivers and let's throw down. Let's go for it. Where it's legal, there's a referee, and then any money we put together.
And here's the thing, though: you don't have to go in mutual combat. If both of you agree and there are witnesses to this, you can do this. You don't have to go to a ring or a match or whatever. You can do it out in the street, so long as you're not impeding traffic or whatever. You can do it in the street.
The ring is for safety.
Yeah,
right. So nobody bounces their head off the asphalt or the concrete.
Right, exactly. And Robert Kennedy makes a great point. So if you want the last word, make it goodbye. Yes.
But I will admit, in my darkest of hearts, there is something really, really fun, kind of like special, about picking someone up and dropping them head first in the mat. There's just just when you do it, when you hip toss somebody and you're like, boom, and you're like this, and you're like, there's a little something invigorating there, especially when they get it kind of slow.
And there's gonna be a puff of white powder comes flying out of his nose.
When you know you rung someone's, when you know you really rung someone's bell, and then you see him kind of like, huh? You get that kind of Cinderella Man moment, and you're like, yeah, you're done. You're done. When you look at your opponent, you know the fight's already over. It's like, I've already won this. Now I just got to go get it. So
that was what the Educator said whenever he looked at Chili. Yes, on forehead changes the fight. Yeah, sometimes it changes it the wrong way, but definitely changes the fight. Vert Defert says, I'm a female and said I would fight Chili, but I want to bounce him around a ring in inflatable sumo suits. That's great.
Well, that's the thing with Chili is he's always like, I'll kick your ass, you're beta, this and that. Honestly, the best response might be, who gives a fuck? Chili, you're not an MMA fighter. You're a constitutional expert who's never won a damn lawsuit. Like, you can't even get into the court, much less the fucking octagon.
A constitutional scholar who doesn't even know how to file things appropriately with the court because they keep getting thrown out because of
misfiles. You forgot to do this, or
in fact, I'm pretty sure that Deborah, however she's pronouncing it, what she filed. The stay the stay she filed, I think, was pretty much under his guidance, and then she filed it, and then it got tossed out that night. Like she filed it, and it was pretty much chucked. So
Mr. Shorty's Cast is right. It's not just horror films. Everything will be made by Insomniac Films, with the exception of the prawn. No prawn, unfortunately.
Please. You get a big enough paycheck, you're shooting at.
That's why I told Erica today. I said, look. It's always a joke. Everybody comes up when I tell them I'm a filmmaker. They come, well, do you do prawn?
Why does it smell like sweat and shame in here?
Oh, shame, yeah. Do you do prawn? I'm like, no. Why you ask? Well, I mean, I'm just curious. I said, nobody's written a big enough check to make me do it yet.
If there's a steady paycheck in it, I'll do anything you say.
Sure, yeah.
Take the money, not the credit, so nobody ever knows.
Yep.
You can always go under a stage name.
Yes.
Like Cameron Diaz and Jennifer Aniston said, I was young and I needed the money. They didn't do prawn. They did pictorials that you wouldn't anticipate. But they were very young, and they were young and they needed the money.
How about a horror rom-com? That was with Nicholas Hoult and what's her name?
Oh, you're talking about you're talking about Warm Bodies.
Yes, Warm Bodies. Yep.
They made a maze kind of in that vein.
Yep, Alan Smith. Wrote in the last name says Orgasmo. Stunt I almost said it.
They don't even look the same. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Like nobody's watching for the continuity. Come on.
Like that
MG is
castle
right,
horror
says,
movie.
Join the team. # Team Insomniac Films. Absolutely. Get on there and let's have some fun.
Oh, Cindy Sue, I could so be bought. You just,
Yeah.
you come up with a you $, you put the numbers behind it, and then we will determine.
JL and I took our shirts off for money. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
We're all just a bunch of whores around
Yeah.
here, and we're not afraid to admit it.
Don't you
Not
remember
afraid
that
to admit
time when like YouTube burnt down and they had to rebuild everything back up? That was after the stream where we did that.
Well, we did that. Yeah. Yeah.
Because they had to cleanse the internet from what we put onto it.
Yes.
That's the only way to do it.
We must wash everyone's eyes out. Yeah.
Don't you remember when the Men in Black showed up and like that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You don't.
How about a documentary on the guard penguins of Antarctica? That would be fun to do a mockumentary about the penguins of Antarctica.
Penguins of Antarctica.
Yeah. Alan Smithy can't be used anymore. Son of a bitch. There's a new one though. Do a short on Mandalorian Spaceball style. That would be. That's great. That's a great idea.
Amazing.
Actually,
That'd be pretty legendary.
that's a great idea.
I used to have a studio set up here that was great, and it was really good for independent film too. But they disassembled it a few years back. Really disappointing.
Oh, that would be fun. I gotta
And
figure
Baby Yoda, me. I love this guy.
Yeah. Yep. Clifford Reynolds says, "Don't lose sleep over your decision to not support Insomniac Films. Donate today." These guys are great. I have some of the best cheerleaders in the world. I gotta say that. I have to say. Cindy Sue says, "Yes, it was me and Mr. Shorty's cat who paid that for you and Jay. Yes, to take you off shirts. Except I did not prank you. I kept my bargain. I did.
No,
exactly,
you kept your beater on.
I did exactly what I said I was going to do, though. I did exactly what I said I was going to do.
Context of the statement. You had 2 shirts on, and you
Doesn't
took.
matter. I said I would take this.
I'll call him
shirt
out
off.
on it, Cindy Sue.
Yeah,
I will
I did
call him out on it. He
exactly-
did not hold up his end.
Yes, I
See,
did.
look, and there's the bots.
Yep. Like as soon as we start,
Like
talking
we
about
summoned
prawn.
them.
As soon as we start talking about prawn, here comes the prawn bots. But yeah,
Oh,
I've said I will show up in a mankini. I will do the mankini. But Weekend Horror is not at 1,000 subs yet. Weekend Horror, when Weekend Horror's at 1,000 subs, I'm in a mankini. That's the payment. That's the
This is
price.
a solo episode right there,
why,
sir.
that's why we're not. That's why Weekend Horror is not at 1,000 subs.
The fear.
AMG says, for a big enough donation, Johnny will take his shirt off.
Wait. So you're saying that if I jump in a mankini, then people will quickly get me to it. So if I reverse it and say I'll get in a mankini, if you do, oh no, it says I should reverse it. Said
You're
if
gonna
you
just
get me to
wear a
1,000,
mankini
I won't
until it
wear a
gets to
mankini.
1,000.
Yes,
Exactly.
if you get me to 1,000, I will not put on the mankini.
Exactly.
Okay, so that should be the thing.
That's what you got to do. Like, I won't. Yeah, you got to threaten us with the horrible thing.
Yeah, make sure to stand up and adjust it every 10, 15 minutes
And
right
the
on
one,
camera.
the one I got has a big moose head down there.
Oh, Jesus. Logan Sandman says, if you want a prawn division, I'll run it for you. I'll just need some help recruiting. No, you won't. You won't need help recruiting. JL, stop threatening us. Exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. But yeah, boom. I'll put that back up there. Just like I said, for a big enough donation, Johnny will take his shirt off.
Both of them.
Well, yeah.
There's only one. There's only there's a
Both of them.
singular shirt.
He'll take both of them.
Shirt.
We'll give you
Both
some
of them.
time to groom, you know,
Lori Marie's
everything
like,
up
no,
to
no, just no.
presentation.
Archangel 3 says, I take my shirt off. Just don't want the ladies to pass out.
Thor style.
I just don't want everybody to. Bleh.
But Chili, when he was on there today, he's like, I'm in such shape and I don't want to show it off and all that. Like, bullshit. You went out and you sold a product called the Jock Sock and you were on that whatever LA tan or whatever in an A shirt. You're a whore just like the rest. Don't try to act like you're better than us.
Yep.
Own it. Own it.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the thing. I own the fact I'm a whore. I will not like. I'm not.
Oh, you are.
I'm
The
not
paycheck
Your
going
has
life
to be
will
big
to
enough.
improve.
a hot dog or anything, but I'm just saying.
You'll for enough zeros, you'll gargle the mayonnaise.
Oh, you said mayonnaise. You said anything other than mayonnaise.
Yeah.
That joke where a guy walks up to a woman in a bar and he says, "For $1 million, would you have sex with me?" And she's like, "Well, of course, for $1 million, I would." Pulls out a dollar bill and lays it on the bar. He says, "Here you go." She says, "That's just $1. What do you think I am?" "Well, we already established you're a whore. Now we're just negotiating price."
Chili did not sell Jock Shocks. The girl did. He sold face protectors for tanning. That's so much. It's just so much funnier. Oh, Jesus.
God, he's such a
Fortunately,
tool.
they don't have that for Matthew. So,
Ugh.
I'm telling you, he
Peter
burned his
Otto
lips
says-
off and they grew back like the rest of his face. That's why
Yeah.
they're the same color as his chin and cheek.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah. Peter also says, "I ain't wearing no shirt right now. What's up?"
Yeah,
Ladies and
definitely
gentlemen,
need
start the
to
bidding.
break out the razor first.
Or 1,000. I walked into or 1K. I walked in the middle of conversation. I said, apparently, I needed to reverse it. I need to be like, if you get me to 1K, if you get Weekend Horror to 1K subs, I will not wear a mankini. That's what I should. Apparently, that's what I should have said, because I said if you get me there, I will. And people were like, no.
I'll say that. We should say, for instance, I should say, we need to get Insomniac Films 3 more donors, or I'm going to start taking clothes off. And everybody's like, "Fucking take my money." That's what's going to happen.
Just punch it through the screen.
Yep.
Take my money, bitch.
3 sad men, half naked, on
Right.
stream Friday night.
That's when you get the call. Yes, I'm going to donate all the money that you need. I'm going to fully fund you for the next 3 years if you just never, ever, ever do that.
You ever do that again?
Ever do it.
You're not allowed to take that shirt off ever. You need to shower in it to keep it clean.
All right, clean. You went outside in the hot sun to dry this shirt off.
Start smelling like Glen Serio.
Ugh.
Ha.
Oh,
You know,
Yep.
yeah, I was just saying, it's like the reason his shirts look like this, because you know how when you put grease on things, they become transparent?
Ooh.
Like storing lard in a burlap sack.
Oh, man.
I'm telling you, it's like that episode of The Simpsons when Homer was trying to get fat so he could get on disability. He was trying to get fatter, gain weight so he could get on disability, so he needed to top 300 pounds. And so Bart was helping him gain all this weight. And so their metric for the food they were eating was, could they wipe it on paper and the paper would turn transparent? And so he takes the chicken and wipes on the paper turns transparent. And then he picked up the hamburger and wiped it on the wall of the damn building and it became transparent.
Hey, Tina Slay. Someone who says magic underwear.
So yeah, if I wiped Glen Serio on the wall
Stop
of the building,
it!
you could see
Stop
right
it!
through it.
Gosh.
People on the outside be like,
Cindy
what
was
the
right as well. Those were images I didn't need.
Car seat's probably like a Waffle House table.
It's like the fucking it's like the kitchen floor of Waffle House.
Wait, time out. So apparently, Mrs. Schrodinger's cat, Nicole, said she would take her shirt off for a big enough donation too. How about that?
How would we know? Oh, just JK. Oh, no, you got me all excited.
It was ready. It was like, yeah, buddy, let me get my. Wait a minute. Yep, JL went there. Yep. Omniworld first.
Yeah, I think Aaron's right. I think Glen Serio's driver's seat probably looks like it's made out of clear
Glen
plastic.
Serio's driver's seat could be wrung out to power Willie Nelson's bus.
Oh,
Stereo touches something and it turns waterproof.
Just sweats pure. He just sweats pure glycerin, like he's old dynamite. Just been sitting there in the box, just sweating pure glycerin. Oh.
Yeah, he's gonna blow up. He's like whenever like when whales,
Glenn sits in one place too long, he'll just explode.
Yep.
No, the city's going to be like, how they're going to find him on a beach in Washington and be like, what do we do with this thing? We can't get rid of it. So let's just blow it up.
Yeah.
Can't get anybody to touch it to roll it back into the sea.
I have to say, did you all ever see that video?
Which one?
Of the city trying to remove the whale. Yeah, and then so they said, well, we can't. There's nothing that we have to pick it up and try to get rid of it, so we're gonna blow it up, which turned out to be the worst possible thing they could have done.
Yeah, right. Because what people don't realize, I guess they've forgotten that whales were hunted way back when for their oil, because that's what we used in lamps, like oil lamps, right? It was whale oil. Not to mention a bunch of other things, but it's very combustible. So yeah, blowing up a dead rotting whale carcass that's been baking in the sun, sweating pure whale oil, is not the smartest thing you can do.
Well, and it's full of combustible, rotting gases too that are going to ignite.
It wasn't just that. They did it with 20 cases of dynamite.
Oh yeah!
Wow!
Like it was somebody's cousin that did that. And they're like, Jimmy will do it cheap.
So yeah, it was in 1970 in Florence, Oregon. State highway engineers lit 20 cases of dynamite to blow apart a 45-foot sperm whale carcass that washed up on the beach and had been sitting there for 3 days.
Yeah,
and they did not intend for the 8-ton carcass to be thrown into the they intended for it to be thrown into the ocean. Instead, chunks of it flew towards the beachside town and fell from the sky, crushing a car a quarter mile away. And raining down on a crowd who had gathered to watch the pyrotechnics.
My goodness.
Rotting whale chunks.
Yeah, Jane knows that some of the chunks destroyed cars.
Yes. 20 cases of dynamite to do. There's video of it. The explosion is legendary. It's like something you've seen him. It's like Michael Bay. It's like friggin'. It's like military testing. It's like a military test site.
Well, that staged train crash back in the industrial era, they ran 2 engines into each other intentionally, knowing nothing about the physics of it, and they had the audience right up on it. It killed, I forgot how many people, because they just wanted to be right up on a damn train crash.
This is going to be amazing.
That says everything about America right now.
This is going to be great. And then it's like, oh, it's so not great.
Not a good idea.
It's Family Guy when he said, if we win the lottery, I'm going to get a big bin full of money so I can swim in it like Scrooge McDuck. And then when he dives into it, it's not a liquid at all. All the pieces of matter form together to form an equally large solid. Oh!
Yeah. In Irish accent, well, you'd be fucked. Yeah, it definitely puts the Gallagher show to shame. That's not watermelons we're busting up. Tom Robertson said, I love those hold my beer moments.
Okay, hang on a sec. Somebody wanted it. I'm actually...
You got it. Yeah, put it up there. I'll show it for all the folks.
Damn, gender reveal parties lately. They keep setting shit on fire. And
Jesus.
You're watching like the kids get injured or the pregnant lady takes a bat to the face, and it's just like, you got in over your damn head.
Yeah. Whatever happened to the regular old cake cutting? Oh, is it a blue cake or is it a pink cake? Well, it's a purple cake. Oh shit.
Well, I keep telling my wife I want to fill a piñata with just like raw meat and let the kids break it open just to scar them for the rest of their lives.
Okay, so, and this is the kind of stuff that we hope to do one day. Here you go, Johnny.
Are we blowing up whales?
That's the link.
Oh, where'd you send it?
Private chat.
Oh, cool.
I really gotta learn to make a fake.
Yes, Leyland squirrels. Big ass titties.
Okay. Here we go.
Arguably one of Danny McBride's best scenes ever. When he's trying to talk to everybody. Just bam, bam.
Okay.
Go.
All right, so this is the dead rotting whale carcass that's about to blow up. I'll play this.
50th anniversary remastered.
It's so good they remastered it. Oh man.
Great moments in American history.
Yep, this is important. Do not be eating anything watching this. That's true.
We're a smart species.
This is what we tell everybody. All right, here we go. Wait, did I?
Michael Bay watched this and was like, I could do that.
Michael Bay was probably a kid when this came out. He's like, hey.
Probably. You didn't break enough shit.
Yep.
Need more dynamite.
All right, let's scoot it here. Let's get to the
That's
good
a
part.
45-foot sperm whale.
Yep.
Is that the one that people were walking on top of?
I think so.
Dangerous, high explosive.
Box after box after box. Oh man.
Any small pieces left after the explosion.
They anticipated having large chunks and using that track vehicle to drag them off.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they didn't realize they needed more buckets.
Thing is, we're not sure just exactly how much explosives it'll take to disintegrate this.
That's fair enough.
Well, okay, I can get that because it's not like there's like a formula that the city has on hand
Right.
to be like,
What do I do to blow up and incinerate an entire whale
to
car?
detonate food. What are we talking like 30 foot, 35, 40, 45 foot? What's the equation here?
To
Look at all
start
this.
small, because you can't unexplode the damn whale after you use too much.
These old folks are like, this is gonna be great.
You got Quinn sitting back here with his
Wiped out a damn retirement home full of people.
Non sequitur show. Vaporize a whale. What could go wrong there?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
To vaporize it.
Ordinary Jeff says, I wonder if there's a formula now. Oh, here we go.
Safe distance achieved.
Nope.
T-5.
All right, Tina, thank you for helping out. I really do appreciate it. Jesus.
It looks vaporized at first because everything's still in the damn air, and then it rains chunks.
Jesus Christ.
The shit's still coming down.
Did you hear that? They gave way for the run for survival. Here's where it is.
Oh my god. Looks like Saving Private Ryan out there.
Leroy Jenkins.
Jenkins.
At least I got chicken.
Oh.
Get this car. Fuck.
That dude's just looking at his car like, what the
It wasn't a convertible, it is now.
Look at the little kid. Dad, I didn't do it, I swear.
Look on the kid's face. He looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Jesus.
stinks.
My goodness. That's crazy.
Guy in the helmet's just like, well, how the hell am I gonna explain this?
Oh.
Did I lose my job today?
Yes, put that back in the archives for another 50 years, please.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
so brilliant.
That's good. All right, it is time. It's time for me to get out of here. It's time to get out of here. We got some cool stuff coming up.
Yeah, Darcy, I was just thinking that myself. Like, how do you report that to your insurance company?
I don't know if insurance will cover that.
Active whale.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
No, that could be considered city vandalism because the city vandalized your car.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think the city would have to pay. It would have to be the city's insurance would have to pay for that, not your insurance.
Well, you'd call your insurance company, then they'll call the city, and then
Your insurance might
but your premiums are still going up, baby.
That carry a one or two.
You're the asshole that went to see a whale explode. This is all on you.
You knew the risks. Jeez.
Oh, can you imagine the birds? Like, because it was like, oh, the seagulls will take care of the rest of it, and they just it would look like the birds after that. Free meals, right?
Oh man! All right, it's time to get out of here. Weekend Horror. What's today? Today's Friday, so Weekend Horror will be on Wednesday. Yeah, lots of fun. I've got some projects coming up that's going to be working. A lot of fun. Got a lot of things coming out. Aaron, what do you got coming up on Media Macabre? You got some. I know you're working on some content.
Yeah, I got to finish cleaning up my studio. I've got the Armillary project I'm going to do. It's the standard, Armillary sphere. I'm going to try to turn it something a little more Hellraiser-ish with some new finish and some cult symbols and stuff, and post that project.
Sweet. Hey, Zachariah Hooper, good to see you. Yeah, by the way, once again, see this down here at the bottom. It says, want to see your name in lights. Wait, goes the other way.
Happy birthday, Zachariah.
Happy birthday. That's right. It is your birthday.
Oh,
Happy
yeah.
birthday to you.
Happy birthday, sir. 1 year closer to dying.
That's so fucked up.
Speak for yourself, man. I'm still running up that hill.
Oh,
I'm
stop
rolling
it
down
there.
and on fire.
No, you already hit the top. You tripped and you're. Ah!
I just got to the top and was like, screw it.
Oh, how do I get down? Just roll. AMG says, last one, please seriously consider supporting Johnny. This is his dream, and he's very good at what he does. He's a good man and a great friend. Yes, go to that. Thank you so much, Tina. Those are very kind words.
I gave $50 and it may cause my wife to leave me. You can give money too.
No pressure. If you can't, if you're not in the position to be able to give, just share it. That helps. It really getting as many eyes on that link, that fundraiser, that not really fundraiser, the crowdsourcing, because you're getting something for your money. It's not just you giving me money. You're getting something. You're buying an experience, and it's going to be so much fun. I really do appreciate all of. Oh, wow. Sorry. We just got a really important message from Scorsese. All of the support, all of the help, everything, putting it out there, really just, you guys are amazing. I really appreciate it. Time for me to get out of here. I will see you guys this weekend sometime or early next week for sure. I've got some videos that I'm working on. Boom. Okay. Now it's time for finger guns, baby. There they go.
I have to get above the message here.
Yep. Gotta get around this guy here. Jail with his middle finger guns.